The following is yet another high school sports presentation brought to you by the high school sports leader in North Texas, 92.1 FM KXEZ, the Possum.
Break out your big coats and chuck some hot chocolate. Winter is here, and it's bringing Texas high school football. A very happy belated Thanksgiving to you and yours. We're coming to you from the practice home of the Dallas Cowboys, the Ford Center in Frisco, where we are set to bring you this regional semifinal round matchup between the Lovejoy Leopards and the Mansfield Timberview Wolves. Hello, everyone, and welcome. You're tuned in to 92.1 FM KXEZ. I'm Ethan Herrera, alongside Dakota Herrera and Ryan Salinas. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night for the second game of our Texas high school football doubleheader. Tonight's matchup features a couple of teams who are quite familiar with each other, but they don't have a ton of history throughout the years. However, they're well on their way to becoming a couple of powerhouses. The Lovejoy Leopards come in with an overall record of 11-1, co-champions of the District 7 5A Division II. Last week, they took down the hard-hitting team of Burleson as they scampered through the second round of the high school playoffs. Mansfield, the Timberview Wolves, come in with an 8-4 record, 5-2 in district play, second out of District 5A Division II. Last week in the area round, they took down Ennis, which is always a strong team, to find themselves face-to-face with the Lovejoy Leopards. In the sequel, they met last year. Lovejoy, Mansfield Timberview, ready to go here from the Ford Center in Frisco on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
Our sponsors for this evening: Smith's Quality Greenhouses, North Texas Appliance, Belfori Spa and Salon.
Thank you, Dakota, for the sponsors. Back here on 92.1 FM KXEZ, this Lovejoy Leopard team, they come in with that record of 11-1, 7-1 in district play. And they are co-champions of District 7 5A. They started their playoff history back in 2008, 14-12 in the playoffs, 13 playoff appearances. They've only missed the playoffs once ever, and that was back in 2016. They've got 3 outright district championships, which is just outstanding coming into a program that was started in 2008. They've had 2 undefeated seasons, 2012 and 2020, and that's, last year when they were fantastic as they faced this Mansfield Timberview team in this same very round. This is the 4th time in the 3rd round. They're 2-1 here in the regional semifinal round. Last year, as I said before, Mansfield Timberview, they beat them 64-50 by the arm of R.W. Rucker, who is playing at Oklahoma right now. He had 8 touchdowns in that game. 2010, they played Henderson, lost 14-16 in 2009. They beat Prosper 24-14. They lost to Aledo last year, which is, we know, 4-time state championship in the last 4 years, so that's nothing to hang their heads on. They lost in the 4th round, 48-52. They made it past this round twice, and that was last year and in 2009. They've only had 2 losing seasons. That was the first season they came around, and back in 2016 where they missed the playoffs. They've had 5 coaches, and all of them have been fantastic. So it's got to point to the fact that these students and these athletes have been more than successful and been a big part of why Lovejoy has been the way they've been since they've started. Chris Roth, the head coach for the Lovejoy Leopards, 2nd season for him here at Lovejoy. They've got a record. He has a record of 24-2 with the team. I mean, ridiculous. He's got 16 years of head coaching experience, and he's 134-54 in his career. 12 playoff appearances, 7 district championships, and only 1 losing record in the last 16 years of coaching. That was back in 2004 with Wichita Falls. That's where he started out. Then he went to Cedar Park through 2011. After that was the AD at Leander, and then came to Prosper. This is the kind of crazy part. In 2016 and 2017, he spent 2 seasons as the director of program development at Boise State. So he's got big-time college experience and D1 college experience. They won 2 Mountain West championships when he was there. Went to Red Oak after that, and then found himself at Lovejoy last year in 2020. And he's won 9 conference and region coaches of the year honors. He is the real deal, and we're going to see him back in action here for the Ford Center. When we come back, I'll talk a little bit more about the Mansfield Timberview Wolves and what they've brought to the table over the years when we come back on our countdown to kickoff on 92.1 FM, KXEZ.
Don't forget, you can get us here at 92.1 KXEZ. You can hear the games on TuneIn Radio. Go to TuneInRadio.com or TuneIn Radio app. Click on 92.1 KXEZ, and you can hear us anywhere in the world. So tell your out-of-town family and friends to tune in to TuneIn Radio.
The Mansfield Timberview Wolves come in at 8-4, 5-2 in their district, runners up in District 5, 5A Division 2. They came into existence back in 2004. The first time they made the playoffs was 2006. So these two teams, they're fairly young in terms of the type of, history that comes in compared to all these schools that have been around since the 50s, 60s, 70s. But they have 11 playoff appearances since 2006. And this is the second straight year they've met Lovejoy, as we've talked about. We're going to talk about all broadcast long, all night long. It's the fifth time they've been to the regional round. They're 1-3 in those four matchups before this one. Their one win was in the third round I must have lost my spot. It was to Frisco Liberty. They lost to Lovejoy last year, 64-50. And like I said, I'm going to bring it up any chance I get. The furthest they've ever gotten was in 2011. They went to the semifinals. And I mentioned before, they established in 2004, have won district championship back in 2014. And they've gone through three coaches, Terry Crone, Mark Walker, and James Brown. James Brown, we'll get into him. 10th season here at Mansfield Timberview. And for Timberview, they've got a record. His record is 66-48 here. But he spent 16 years as a head coach. In 2006, he was at Brazos Sport. 2007 to 2010 was F.B. Kempner. And then 2011 spent a year in Forney before he moved here to Mansfield Timberview and take over the head coaching duties. When we come back, we'll talk about the more in-depth look about how we got here, how the Lovejoy Leopards got here, and what they bring to the table and what we're going to see from this explosive offense, one of the best offenses in the state of Texas in 5A. More to come on the countdown to kickoff on 92.1 FM, KXEZ.
92.1 FM KXEZ and 95.3 FM KHYI, The Range. Are deeply rooted and invested in North Texas. Thanks for listening and for your support.
The game last year in the regional semifinal round, we actually covered that on KXEZ. It was Christmas Eve. They played an amazing game, one of the highest scoring games and back and forth battles that we've had here on 92.1. I'm going to bring in our statistician for tonight's game, Ryan Salinas. Ryan, tell us a little bit about last year's game.
Yeah, Ethan. So last year, Timberview came out with a ridiculously hot start, scoring 29 points in the first quarter. They did outscore Lovejoy 29-15. And then from then on, Lovejoy decided to turn it up and scored 28 points in the second quarter and just started dominating from then on out. And let's see here. Yeah, and the game was actually 64-50. And a lot of points scored last year.
Lovejoy is one of those teams, and they have been over the past couple of years, to score quickly and score often. Mansfield Timberview is much of the same. Let's talk about how we got to this point. This year, they had three returning starters on offense, Lovejoy. The Lovejoy Leopards had three starting returners on offense, 4 on defense. They scored 618 points on the offensive side and only allowed 169 points all season long. Ridiculous. Last week against Burleson, 255 total yards, 125 passing yards, 130 on the ground, and we're actually outgained in terms of yardage. They had 255 total, and Lovejoy had around 260 in that game, and somehow they brought it out. They did a nice game, did a nice job. They had 5 penalties for 35 yards, and they were led by Alexander Hondo Franklin. I will call him Hondo a couple of times because what a name for a quarterback. That's ridiculous. He was 12 of 16, 125 yards, and 1 touchdown. That was actually the only time that Hondo Franklin had only threw 1 touchdown pass all season long in that game against Burleson. Matthew Maynard, one of their star running backs, 10 rushes, 52 yards, and a touchdown. And Noah Nadeau had 9 rushing attempts for 43 yards. Peyton Pierce got in on the action last week with 7 rushes, 21 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So when they get in that red zone area, look for Peyton Pierce, to go deep right at the tackles, right between the tackles, and power his way to the goal line. Jackson Lavender, who is one of the better players, one of the best players on this Lovejoy roster, had 8 catches for 52 yards. He is outstanding. They were undefeated, Lovejoy, in the regular season until the final game. That game they lost to Frisco Liberty, who they shared that district championship with. 6 games in a row this year, they scored 49-plus points. Guys, listen to this. 7 games this year where they've scored 50 or more points in a ball game, and there's been 12 games this season. Absolutely ridiculous from this offense. They had an 18 regular season win streak until that final game of the season against Frisco Liberty. They only allow 75 rushing yards a game, so that's going to be the big story if Mansfield Timberview can actually get going on the ground against Lovejoy, who their defense, it says numbers don't lie. Everyone, that's the whole thing, right? Numbers don't lie. 75 yards given up on the ground is quite an astounding number, especially for a 5A school. A couple of the individual key players to look out for, of course, is the quarterback wearing that number 10 on his jersey, Alexander Hondo Franklin. On the year, 177 passing completions to 271 attempts. He's got 2,800 yards plus and 48 touchdown passes with 8 interceptions on the year. Jackson Lavender, he is, real quick about Alexander Franklin. He's had 3 games with 6 touchdowns, 2 games with 5 touchdowns, and like I mentioned, last week was the only time he's only had 1 touchdown in a ball game. Jackson Lavender, 67 receptions, 1,037 yards through the air, receiving, and 15 touchdown catches. He's the one he's going to go to in big spots. That's who to look out for. That is my key player for the game on the offensive side for Lovejoy. Kyle Parker gets in there on the receiving end as well. 46 receptions on the year for 725 yards and 11 touchdowns. And as well as Parker Livingstone, 37 receptions, 788 yards, 14 touchdowns. He's got 3 receivers. Lovejoy has 3 receivers with 700-plus yards. They are ridiculous. And yes, that is Jackson Lavender is a commit to SMU. He's actually one of the only ones this week that SMU did not lose. There was a couple, they had about 6 recruits out of class 2023, and they lost them all except for Jackson Lavender. He is by far one of the best players offensively we will see today. Noah Nadeau and Matthew Maynard will handle the backfield duties as the running backs. 134 rushes for 948 yards for Noah Nadeau. Had a good game last year in this round against Lovejoy, against Timberview. He had 7 touchdowns on the year. Matthew Maynard, 9 touchdowns for 772 yards. They are quite the team and quite the offense because, man, when they get going, they get going. When we come back, we'll talk about the Mansfield Timberview Wolves and what they've done all year long when our countdown to kickoff returns on 92.1 FM, KXEZ.
Shop where we shop. North Texas Appliance, located at I-30 in Rockwall. For famous brands like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, General Electric, Monogram, and many others. First quality appliances also come at good prices. That's North Texas Appliance in Rockwall.
Thank you, Dakota, for telling us about North Texas Appliance. Actually, not too far from where Ryan Salinas' parents reside, out in Rockwall, Texas, near Wilkerson Sanders, somewhere in that area. The Mansfield Timberview Wolves come in hot, and I mean hot. 8-4 on the year, 5-2 in district play, second in 5A, and they're led out there by the senior quarterback, Jaden Marshall. Marshall comes in 1,500 yards, 21 touchdown passes to 6 interceptions. He completes 65% of his passes, so the guy's accurate. They're kind of well balanced because they've got a crazy running back. And I beg your pardon, give me just a second. His first name has escaped me, Jarvis Reed. So Jarvis Reed, the junior running back, stands at 6 feet tall, 180 pounds, and Jarvis Reed has over 1,000 yards rushing for 16 touchdowns, 85 yards through the air receiving as well. So he's more of that back that's going to start the things early down back, first, second down, fourth down if you need them. They've also got a lot of running backs that come in and really do a nice job of getting their tackles or getting through the tackles and doing, getting those extra yards on third down. Cameron Bates, the sophomore, who also is the backup quarterback, has 345 yards on the ground, as well as Javion Madison and DJ Hill. They are great as well. 329 yards for Madison, 355 yards on the ground for Hill. It's going to be the big receivers on the Mansfield Timberview side, which is Titus Evans, the junior wide receiver, stands at 6'2", 175 pounds, a big target for Marshall to hit. He's got 500 yards on the year, 6 touchdown passes, and their star wide receiver is Samarion Chambliss. Chambliss at 5'10", 150 yards. He is a senior. He's got 814 yards on the year, 40 receptions, and 13 touchdown passes. They are just as good. Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say they're a very competent offense, Mansfield Timberview, and they can really maybe hang with Lovejoy. We saw last year, we had the same conversation, and Mansfield Timberview took off, and that was at Globe Life Park in Arlington, the old home for the Texas Rangers. And now they're in the home of another professional sports team, practice home, that is, in the Dallas Cowboys. We've got the sequel, Mansfield Timberview and Lovejoy, straight ahead when we come back on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. The start of the third round, the regional semifinals, is straight ahead. Lovejoy went through their tunnel, and of course the crowd goes crazy because Lovejoy is not too far from here. Mansfield, on the other hand, a little bit of a drive for them. So the crowd not quite as full, the stands not quite as full of crowd in favor of the Mansfield Timberview Wolves. But nonetheless, it's going to be one heck of a game here at the Ford Center at the Star. As we're going to talk about it all night long. This is the sequel. The second time these two teams will play, and Mansfield Timberview is looking for revenge against the dangerous Lovejoy team, who is hot as can be, maybe hotter than any other team in the state of Texas in 5A. Leopards took down a couple of their opponents. It was Red Oak back in the first round, and then they took down Burleson, which is near Mansfield. So taking down all those Fort Worth teams on that side of the Metroplex. When we come back, we will have the kickoff, the coin toss, and start of this round. Mansfield Timberview, sorry, I'm looking down there to see what was going on with our ref. Now, we'll send you to break and come right back on 92.1 FM, KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Don't miss the UIL Football State Championship starting Wednesday, December 15th at the AT&T Center in Arlington. Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. Captains getting ready to go out there. Lovejoy lines up with their white jerseys, black pants, red numbers, and black helmets. Their away jerseys, they are the away team for this round. The Timberview Wolves come in with their maroon tops, white pants, kind of a dark silver helmet, and white numbers. Remember, folks, don't forget, if you can't get us here at 92.1 FM KXEZ, you can hear the games on TuneIn Radio. Go to TuneInRadio.com or the TuneIn Radio app and tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio. You can hear us anywhere in the world.
You'll call it in there.
The coin toss right now.
Lovejoy has won the toss and has deferred their option to the second half. Timberview will be receiving. Good luck tonight, guys. Let's play some football.
Well, you heard that. as Lovejoy will receive. Did I hear that right? Maybe Lovejoy will kick off, and Mansfield Timberview will receive. Back for the Wolves. Back for the Wolves is Samarian Chambliss. With him is Tyler Madison. A couple of receivers back there to receive from Mansfield to start this ball game off. The kicker for Lovejoy. It's Caden Carlock. And I tell you what, folks, Lovejoy is ready to go. The fans are there. Everybody's pumped up on that side. I'm telling you, they need more people over here on the Timberview side. But like I mentioned, it is a kind of a far drive, maybe an hour 30 for them, where Lovejoy is just down the road. Carlock on to kick things off for the Lovejoy Leopards. And the right foot of Carlock will send us ready to go for part number 2. As the fair catch is signaled for inside the 5-yard line, so they'll take it at the 25. That's the first time we will see this offense for Mansfield Timberview. Led out by Jaden Marshall, the senior, 1,500 yards, 21 touchdowns. Start of the first quarter. Ready to go. From smack dab right in the middle of the field. First play from scrimmage. In the shotgun is Jaden Marshall. To the right of him is Jarvis Reed. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left with an H-back in on the left side of the formation. Claps his hands, try to get him off sides to start the game, but no dice. Then he snaps his hands. Marshall hands it off to Reed. Cuts to the left, now to the right. Back to the right side, outside the hash marks, and down across the 25-yard line to the 27. 2-yard gain on a first down, 2nd and 8. Nice run by Jarvis Reed. They're going to utilize him every way they can. He is the catalyst for the Timberview Wolves. In the shotgun now is Marshall from the right hash mark. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right for the tight end. Play action to Reed. Throws out to the left side, in and out of the hands of the star wide receiver, Samarian Chambliss. Wide open. He had some room. He could just hold on to that ball. Got in trouble trying to catch it and run. Trying to run before he can catch it, rather. 3rd and 8 now from the 27-yard line. Right hash mark for Jaden Marshall and the Timberview Wolves. Their first possession, trying to get 3 and out of the Lovejoy Leopards. Shotgun again from the right hash mark. Marshall, Reed to the right of him. 2 receivers stacked to the numbers on the right side. Fakes the clap, now claps his hands. Waits for the snap, now takes it. Play action, drops back, and here comes the pressure. Down goes Marshall. He loses his helmet on that tackle. Peyton Pierce came firing.
Peyton Pierce actually has an offer from North Texas he just received 2 days ago. He is one heck of an athlete to keep an eye on for today's matchup.
Well, you see why. Comes in and a big play on 3rd down, forces a 3 and out on the first possession of the game for Timberview. I mean, that's how you want to start a game, boys. Over a minute, under a minute off the clock here in the first quarter. Timberview on to punt, and the snap, low snap, brought down, and there it is, a special teams blunder, and Lovejoy has it inside the 5 to start their game.
Yeah, he fumbled it around at the 2-yard line. Punter couldn't hold on to the ball.
And the punter indeed couldn't hold on to it. At the 3-yard line, officially in Lovejoy. Catches a huge break, Peyton Pierce. Happened all because of him. The big sack on Marshall, and then the special teams blunder. And Lovejoy knocking on the door right away. The Leopards on the prowl from the left hash mark. And let's get the first look at the quarterback, Alexander Hondo Franklin. I want to refer to him as Hondo from here on out. Hondo Franklin from the left hash mark. In the shotgun, Dylan McGee. To the left of him, McGee takes it up the middle, bounces around, and gets blown up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It's 2nd and goal from that 3. Looks like Landon Hullaby was in there, along with a couple of other Wolves. Pack of Wolves, if you will. Lost him about half a yard, if that. And Peyton Pierce now, kind of a wildcat quarterback into the game, claps his hand, runs out to the left side. It's a quarterback power, and Pierce pierces his way through the goal line. Comes up with a huge sack, and now 6 points for Lovejoy. I mean, I'm already in love with this kid. He can do it all on the field. Defensive, offensive, into the quarterback position. My goodness.
He powered through the backfield.
Not scoring quickly.
Pushes his fullback forward.
Caden Carlock on for the extra point try. Up and in. 7-0. 10-19 on the clock here in the first quarter. Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview in the third round of the high school playoffs on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back here on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, it was a 3-yard quarterback keeper on the Wildcat by Peyton Pierce to open up the scoring for tonight's game. And indeed, the Lovejoy Leopards strike first. Carlock sends this one out to the left side in the back of the end zone and fumbled again. They're going to take it out. Out of the end zone to the left side, the 10-yard line, the 15 out to the right hash mark, and finally brought down, bringing it out was Chancellor Anthony, the cornerback.
Yeah, he fumbled in the end zone at first. Was able to pick it back up. I mean, just had a few more yards.
I mean, wouldn't you just take the knee right there and get to the 25-yard line? I mean, kind of a suspect kind of play, but he's just trying to make something happen here early in the game. 7-0, Lovejoy leads. 10-13 on the clock in the first quarter. We'll see Jaden Marshall back out there for his second possession of the ball game with Jarvis Reed to the right of him. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. To the right hash mark, going from our left to the right. And this shotgun claps his hand, sends a man in motion left to right. That's Chambliss. Snap to him. Play action. Throws to the right side, has a man down to the right side, and a big one-handed grab down the right sideline.
Unbelievable. Big first down right there by 1-5.
My goodness, Titus Evans. Ridiculous. Big time play for the first down of the ball game for Mansfield Timberview. The Timberview offense can get going quickly. It's just the defense from Lovejoy last possession was awesome. From the 33-yard line, the right hash mark. 1st and 10 from there. Shotgun for Jaden Marshall. Claps his hands, awaits the snap. Play action. Drops back, has some time. Fires to the right side. Wide open is Evans at the 44-yard line and powers forward across the midfield mark to the 48 inside Lovejoy territory. Dakota, what do you like about that quarterback right now?
I think he's finding a quick connection with 1-5 there. That's left and right. I think he's working with him pretty often, knows exactly where he can throw the ball.
Evans, 34 receptions going into this ball game, 500-plus yards on the season. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right side. Shotgun snap for Jaden Marshall. Waits for it right in the middle of the star. Play action, fires left again. He finds Evans once again. No, that's Chambliss across the 45-yard line and down to the 42. I mean, completely different offense from the first possession to the next possession, right? That's called making an adjustment. On the 41-yard line now, left hash mark, 2nd and 3. 7-0 Lovejoy over Timberview. 2 receivers on the left side and a tight end. Jarvis Reed off the tackle to the left side, bounces around, dances around, and outside the hash mark and left number. And down he goes near the 40-yard line. Gain of maybe 1 on the play. It'll be 3rd and short. Ball will be spotted at the 41, so no, not a gain of 1. No gain on the play. 3rd and 3 now with 8:30 in the first quarter to go. Pistol formation for Mansfield Timberview. Marshall in the shotgun, Reed behind him. 2 receivers to the right side and a tight end. They hand it to Reed. No. Quarterback keeper, left side, 40 Marshall. Outside the left numbers and close to the first down mark. And it is a first down for Timberview. It was a sack in the first possession that forced a 3 and out, and then a fumbled snap by the punter for Mansfield Timberview, which set up Lovejoy perfectly inside their own 5. A couple plays later, Peyton Pierce took it in for a touchdown, and it's 7-0 with 7:58 on the clock in the first quarter to go. 2 receivers stacked on the numbers to the left side. 1 receiver to the right side, tied into the ball game for Jaden Marshall. Reed to the right of him. Hands off to Reed. It's kind of a draw. He goes to the left side, off the left tackle. Still on his feet and dragging a couple of Leopards with him across the 35-yard line.
They plowed right through him. They'll pick up a few yards.
He is fantastic, Jarvis Reed, a 1,000-yard rusher with 16 touchdowns on the year, and he's just a junior. I mean, that means something, especially in 5A, a junior coming in with those type of numbers. Shotgun for Jaden Marshall. 2nd and 5 after that 5-yard gain by Jarvis Reed. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. They do this kind of fake snap, snapping and clapping the hands, says Marshall. The handoff to Reed once again, and down goes Reed in the backfield. Loss of 1 on the play. Coming in was Dylan McGee. Dylan McGee in at running back the last possession inside the 5 for Lovejoy. Now makes a big play on the offensive end, and Peyton Pierce was in there to make a play as well. Peyton Pierce, 6'2", 200, linebacker. That's a big body down there. 7-0 Lovejoy over Timberview in round 3 of the Texas High School playoffs. 6:30 on the clock and counting in the first quarter. 2 receivers to the right side from the left hash mark for Jaden Marshall. Claps his hand, takes the snap. It's a delay. They hand it to Jarvis Reed, and no good. Going nowhere. Actually goes backwards a yard to the 35.
2 big stops. Right here on 35.
Lovejoy, we've always talked about their offense, but their defense doesn't get enough credit, and their defense has come up big. I mean, they bent just a little bit this possession, but forced a punt now from Mansfield Timberview. From here, it would be about a 52-yard field goal try, so they're going to send a punt unit out there. That's Tyler Strumula. Strumula back there to punt. High snap, hits it down. High punt and a good punt toward the goal line. Hits down at the 2-yard line and bounces into the end zone for a touchback with 5:37, I should say, on the clock in the first quarter. Coda, why don't you tell us who our sponsors are for today's game? It's 7-0 Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview with 5:37 on the clock in the first quarter.
Today's sponsors this evening are Smith's Quality Greenhouses, North Texas Appliance, Belfory Spa and Salon.
And now Hondo Franklin will come out there for the first time. It was Peyton Pierce running the Wildcat quarterback in the first possession, and Hondo Franklin out there. Play action. Looks to the right side, fires to the right side. Look at the touch on that ball to the 50-yard line. Into double coverage, though. Incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line.
I just wanted to try to make something big happen there. Try to force something that quite wasn't there yet.
It was Amari Murdoch, the 6'5", 190 senior. Moving quickly as Lovejoy now. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Hondo Franklin sees something he doesn't like, and they want to change it up. On the right hash mark in the 20-yard line, 2nd and 10 with 5:32 on the clock in the first quarter. Already with a 7-0 lead. The Lovejoy Leopards, man in motion, right to left. That's Jackson Lavender. Play action, drops back, looks right, steps up in the pocket, fires down the right sideline, and incomplete. Maybe a little miscommunication between Jackson Lavender and Hondo Franklin. Not quite sure what was going on there, but he completely missed him. He went one way, and Franklin threw the other. Either way, it's 3rd and 10 from the 20-yard line, going right to left from the right hash mark. 3 receivers stacked on the left side of the formation. Now man in motion, left to right. Play action. Dropping back is Franklin. Looking left. Now drifting out to the left side. And here comes the pressure. Down he goes. Titus Evans, the wide receiver, coming in to bring him down. Well, I'm going to correct myself. That was actually Brian Mitchell who came to bring down Franklin from behind and get the sack. That'll bring up 4th down for Lovejoy, 4th and 14. Push back to the 14-yard line, the 16-yard line. Amari Murdoch will come in to do the punting for Lovejoy. Rugby-style punt out to the right side, and a good punt. Man, look at this. Fair caught at the 36-yard line. What a beautiful way to split the field and shift it out to the right side. ridiculous as Todrick Dixon did nothing but fair catch it. And they'll start their possession, Mansfield will, at the 37-yard line. 4:33 on the clock, a 7-0 lead. Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview. What do you think, Dakota? Is Mansfield in danger of, is Lovejoy in danger of Mansfield finding their stride right here?
They looked a little good in their last possession.
Well, now,
I think they'll find something here.
Well, Jaden Marshall in the shotgun hands it off to Jarvis Reed. It's a Reed out to the left side. Past the 40-yard line. A nice gain on first down. Gets them to the 44. Ethan Herrera with Dakota Herrera and Ryan Salinas here from the Ford Center in game number 2 of KXEZ's doubleheader of high school Texas football. Yeah, I'm back out here. Nice to see you again. I called that game just a little bit ago at 1 o'clock out in Mount Pleasant. And I'm happy to be here with you. Thanks for joining us on KXEZ. 7-0 Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview. 4 minutes to go in the first. To the right side, Jaden Marshall. Now runs out and he falls. He was going to throw it right to Titus Evans. Decided not to. Saw the pressure. Went around. And he falls to the ground. And a big sack will be a loss of 7 on the play. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
Just completely lost his footing. They have 5 defenses coming right at him, though. It's difficult to go down right there.
I definitely would have went down if I were him. The one in the area was Zach Bonner, the 6', 200-pound linebacker for Lovejoy. 3rd and 11 from the 36-yard line. 2 receivers on either side of the formation for Jaden Marshall. In the shotgun, drops back, looks right, fires right to the outside numbers, and no flag. No flag as the intended receiver was Braylon Jones. They just got tangled up. I want to see the replay up there on the video board if they show it, but it might have been a good call if it was a tangle up. 3:11 on the clock, and it's a 4th and 11 now. Another punt, the 3rd straight punt. Ryan, is that right? 3 straight punts for Mansfield Timberview?
That is correct. This is the 3rd punt in a row.
And back there for Mansfield Timberview to do the punting again is Tyler Strumala. This one away, and a fair catch signal. And yeah, fair catch signal at the 35, making the 25-yard line, but Jackson Lavender had a lot of open room around him, but decided not to take it.
He was half-hearted. He threw his hand up. I had second thoughts about that fair catch.
Yeah, he was like, well, maybe not. I don't know. But either way, they keep possession. They don't want anything crazy going on. We've already seen some special teams craziness already in this game. Not by Lovejoy, but by Mansfield Timberview. 3:03 on the clock in the first quarter. Ball will be spotted at the 26-yard line. Hondo Franklin comes in the shotgun, trips to the right side. One tight end of the ball game, and the running back Nadu to the left. Toss out to Lavender, sweeping out on a jet sweep to the left side. Trying to get outside the numbers, and can't get back to the line of scrimmage, or does he? Might be a yard short of there. It might be a loss of 1 on the play. It is. Man, that Timberview defense is quick. They read that perfectly. The loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11 from the 25-yard line. Trips out to the right side. Lavender in motion, right to left. Franklin hands it off to Nadu. Bounces around to the 25-yard line and gets some positive yardage to about the 27. Make it the 28-yard line. Noah Nadu stands at 5'9", 165 pounds, and the senior has been great all year long.
I was just seeing here, Ethan, Noah Nadu, the running back, is actually a 2-time honorable mention in his district.
He's definitely deserving of it. He's done so much for this team in the past couple of years since Chris Ross took over. Quarterback draw. It's Franklin across the 30, still on his feet and hit hard near the first down marker around the 36-yard line. Man,
he put a shoulder in. He tried to get those extra few yards.
And with just a sophomore, Hondo Franklin on 3rd down pushes forward for the first down.
What an effort by the quarterback.
Man, with a name like Hondo, you got to have that kind of running ability, right? Back. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Left hash mark for Franklin. Claps his hands, tries to draw him off sides, but doesn't get him this time. 1st and 10 from the 36. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview. The Wolves on defense, trying to stop this Leopard team from going crazy. Franklin drops back, fires to the right side. He's got Lavender, and incomplete. Intended for Lavender, try to drop it in the bucket, but threw it just short. And on that pass defense was Chancellor Anthony. Franklin on the year has 48 touchdowns, just 8 interceptions, and he's just a sophomore. I'm going to keep saying that too. That's ridiculous. A sophomore coming in doing what he's doing. Nadu. Play action to him. They fire to the left side, and no flag, as it looked like the defensive back was all over the intended receiver, Jack Livingstone. But incomplete, 3rd and 10.
We're in a state championship. Looks like the refs are letting the kids play. A couple of close, questionable pass interference calls. Just let them go.
Absolutely. 3rd and 10 from the 36-yard line. They got to let the boys play, you know?
Exactly.
Play action from Franklin. Fires to the far side, the right side, near the first down marker. And he's got it. Nice pitch and catch right there to Livingstone from Hondo Franklin. And a first down for Lovejoy on a 3rd and 10.
So number 18, Parker Livingstone, is another athlete you got to keep an eye on for today. He actually received an offer from Florida State, so big-time school. Interception.
Dropping back was Franklin out to the right side and picked off. The safety read him all the way through a double coverage. And a big-time pick by Todrick Dixon, intercepting Franklin for just the 9th time this season.
Seems to be going both ways. Every time each team gets a drive going, one big mess up seems to put them back where they started.
What a play by Todrick Dixon from the right side. Sorry, Ryan, I didn't mean to cut you off about Livingstone, but he made a huge play at Todrick Dixon on that right sideline, that far sideline, and Mansfield Timberview has the ball back. 7-0, 1:27 on the clock in the first quarter from the left hash mark. Jaden Marshall claps his hands. Again, trying to fake out that defense. I think that's what's going on. Maybe it's a timing issue. Now he hands it to Jarvis Reed, who runs through the 25-yard line to the line of scrimmage, trying to get past that secondary line, the linebackers, but gets to the 30-yard line, gain of 5. I also cannot get over. I know this is an NFL facility, but it's so beautiful in here. This is state of the art. Ridiculous. You like it, Dakota?
Yeah, it's the first time I've been to this stadium. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I love it in here. From the Fort Center, 2nd and 5 from the 30-yard line. Marshall, Jarvis Reed, play action, fires to the right side. He's got Chambliss at the 32. Makes a move, trying to get outside the numbers, and does, and goes down, but gets hit hard. And a first down, a good pitch and catch from Marshall to Chambliss. So Marion Chambliss on the year, 40 catches coming in, 814 yards and 13 touchdowns. Gets one right there, his 2nd catch of the ballgame. From the right hash mark now, from the 44-yard line, make it the 43, 1st and 10. Going left to right, Chambliss in motion, right to left. Marshall in the shotgun with Reed to the right of him. Whistles come in before we hear anything. And it looks like
timeout. Timberview. First charge, timeout.
Well, timeout by Mansfield Timberview with 22 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 7-0. What do you like about this Lovejoy team so far, Dakota?
Their defense is doing great. They seem to be staying right on top of Timberview. Can't get much done.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to stalemate them right now. The only reason they have 7 points really is because of the blunder on the punt. Ryan, what do you like about Mansfield Timberview? What have they done so far to keep themselves in the ballgame?
Well, it seems like Mansfield Timberview has it together in the offensive end, but they just seem to struggle on some 3rd down conversion. That's what's really been hurting them. But other than that, this offense has been really moving the ball downfield.
Jaden Marshall is the real deal, it looks like, man. He's got a good arm, firing all over the place. Throws a good tight spiral, and he's so calm in the pocket. So calm. And they're both very young, the 2 quarterbacks I'm talking about. Jaden Marshall is a senior, but also it's his first time starting for Mansfield Timberview this season. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right now, coming out of the timeout. 7-0 Lovejoy. Hands off to the right side, dancing around is Jarvis Reed, and tripped up as he crossed midfield mark, gets the first down near the 45-yard line of Lovejoy.
Big play by Lovejoy there to miss that tackle. He was gone.
Yeah, Jaden Lawton came in and somehow made the tackle a shoestring tackle. He's actually the younger cousin of Michael Crabtree. I just want to let y'all know that. Michael Crabtree's got a cousin here. Maybe he's in the arena right now. 1 second left here in the first quarter. They let the clock wind down. 7-0. Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview. Headed in the second quarter, we'll see Jaden Marshall and the Timberview Wolves try to go after this 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line when we return on 92.1 FM KXEZ. From the 43 to the right side, dropping back is Marshall, misses a man deep down the left sideline, and that was Chambliss as he couldn't quite hit him. He was wide open, had a step on him. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 43-yard line now for Timberview. 7-0 Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview in this second matchup between the two teams in the third round. Last year, it was Lovejoy that prevailed. They're trying to do it again against a strong Wolves team. Marshall from the right hash mark in the shotgun. Drops back, fires to the right side, and incomplete. Intended for Titus Evans, and there's no flag again. Dakota, you said it, man. They're letting the boys play.
Starting to really like this Timberview O-line. They're giving the quarterback a lot of time in the pocket.
They have not given up. They gave up 1 sack earlier, and technically 2, but that was Marshall's own doing of falling down. But you're right. They've had a lot of time. Marshall's had a lot of time to drop back, find his receivers, and really make a strong throw wherever he wants to go. 7-0, 11:49 on the clock, 11 seconds off the clock in the second quarter. 2 receivers to the right side for Jaden Marshall. Goes out, talks to his tight end for a bit. Now he moves his slot Chambliss over just a sec. Reed to the right of him. Drops back. Play action. Tries to go outside. Spins from the right to the left. Has a man, but keeps going. Quarterback keeper across the 40-yard line down to the 39. Nice play by Jaden Marshall on third down to make something happen.
Tripped up that linebacker on that spin move.
I mean, that's beautiful. We have the luxury of a replay here, and he just made a man completely miss. I mean, I don't want to call you out, Kyle Parker, but
he broke your leg.
Yeah, he absolutely put him through the spin cycle on that one.
Jaden Marshall, but the big thing is that Lovejoy converged on him and now forces a 4th down from the 39-yard line. Jackson Lavender on to receive on this punt. It's a back-spinning punt at the 10-yard line. Fielded by Lavender. Inside the 5, trying to get outside and gets knocked down and out of bounds around the 8-yard line. I mean, the other questionable call, Jackson Lavender fields that one on the hop. It might have went into the end zone on the hop, but decides to take it out and gets to the 9-yard line officially. So Hondo Franklin will take over right there. Ryan, that was a long drive by Mansfield Timberview.
Yeah, it really was. It was they had put quite a drive together. I'm surprised they ended up punting on that drive. They actually had about a 7-play drive on that one.
And they really took a lot of time off the clock, and that's really what you have to do against an offense that can score quickly. 10:55 on the clock, 1st and 10. From the 9-yard line from the right hash mark, Hondo Franklin in the shotgun. Stack trips to the left side of his receivers. Nadu to the left of him at the running back position. Snap to him. Nadu up the middle to the left side. Cuts it out to the middle of the field and across the 15. Nice gain on 1st down of 9 yards to the 18-yard line. Haven't seen a lot of run game from Lovejoy as they move quickly. 10:40 and counting here in the second quarter. First half of play. 7-0 Lovejoy over Timberview. Franklin directing traffic. Stack trips to the left side. Now 1 receiver lone to the right side. Again, Nadu, left side, 15, 20, 25, and powers his way across the 25-yard line for a 1st down for Lovejoy. Gets it to the 27. Moving quickly now from the left hash mark. 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Play action. Franklin drops back. A lot of time. Fires middle of the field. Jump ball and caught. Big time. Huge shot down the field, and Kyle Parker. My goodness. All the way to the opposite 30-yard line, the 31. Hondo Franklin showing off that arm.
Receiver got a good break. He's able to get ahead of his quarterback.
Made a huge play jumping up for that ball. Nadu trips up a little bit across the 30-yard line and a gain of 2 on the play to the 29. I mean, we've seen him throw the ball, Franklin, but he unleashed one right there and put the perfect touch to hit his man on that post route.
Ball was thrown. Only where their receiver can catch it. Tucked it in, was able to grab it down to 30.
Play action. Franklin looking to the right side, going for it all for Lavender. Incomplete. Just inside. If he got that ball just a little bit more outside, it would have been a touchdown, but Lavender almost beat his man. It's incomplete. 3rd and 7. 3rd and 8 now from the 29-yard line. 7-0 Lovejoy over Timberview. 9:33 on the clock and counting. 3rd and 8 for the Lovejoy Leopards. Left hash mark. Lavender in motion. Right to left. Still in motion. Gets out to the left sideline. Handoff to Nadeau. Has some space and powers forward. The O-line did a nice job of letting him pushing the pile just a bit to give him some extra space. They don't get the first down. It was 3rd and 8. They have a kind of a draw play. They get to the 26-yard line. We'll see what Coach Chris Ross wants to do here. They're sending out the field goal unit. It's going to be a 43-yard field goal attempt. And it's Caden Carlock who comes in trying to add to the 7-point lead from 43 yards out. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. It's got the distance. Does it have the angle? No good. Wide left. And we'll stay 7-0 with 8:47 on the clock in the second quarter. And Mansfield Timberview will come back. And seems kind of dangerous, don't you think? They have all these chances, Lovejoy, and they're just letting Timberview hang around.
Well, Hondo comes up, great big plays. He tries to repeat them right away, and instead of trying to move the chains like he was at the beginning of the drive, wasn't able to complete.
Yeah, you're right. They've taken a lot of shots downfield, and that's a good point. Maybe they'll try to rein it in, a couple of slant plays, something like that. We'll see with Coach Chris Ross if he makes any adjustments next time out on the offense. Defensively now, they got to stop the Timberview Wolves team. Marshall to Jarvis Reed. Bounces around off the inside, off the right guard, inside the hash marks. And gets it to the 30-yard line. Nice gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6. And Jarvis Reed is just shifty. I can't think of a better word. I mean, he's shifty. Moving right to left, he's quick, man.
No, breaks tackles left and right. It's very difficult for this Lovejoy team to hold him.
8:15 on the clock and counting. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right side. Marshall. And it's a Reed once again, and this time stopped in the backfield. The Lovejoy Leopards come up big on defense on 2nd down. They're going to give him the line of scrimmage again, actually, which I think is a bad spot.
Seems like the only way to stop Reed is if you throw 5 defensive linemen at him.
That's a good point. He's been running all over this team. I mean, not like necessarily getting huge chunk yardages, but he's getting 4, 5, 6 yards almost every time he touches the ball. And that time, Lovejoy comes up big. You can hear the crowd getting into it as Lovejoy awaits a 3rd and 6. 3rd and 6 on the 30-yard line. Jaden Marshall in the shotgun, drops back, looks right. Pocket breaks down, trying to go somewhere. Can't go anywhere, fires to the right side, incomplete.
This O-line, again, gave him a lot of time in the backfield.
But ultimately, it was Wes Wilson. What a name for a defensive lineman. Wes Wilson coming around, forcing him out of the pocket. Wes Wilson and Zach Banner were back there to force the QB pressure.
Yeah, this Lovejoy defense is really getting it together now. This is the 4th time they've made Timberwood punt, so this defense is really getting after it.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna put a mark against myself. I talked all about the Lovejoy offense, but it's the defense that's been coming up big. And Lavender trying to field it on the run, on the punt, as it fielded all the way and picked up at the 31-yard line. Good job of flipping the field position by the punter for Mansfield Timberview, Tyler Strumolo. And it'll be with 7:07 on the clock in the second quarter. We'll see Lovejoy leading 7-0.
Don't forget, you can get us here at 92.1 KXEZ. You can hear the games on TuneIn Radio. Go to TuneInRadio.com, TuneIn Radio app, click on 92.1 KXEZ, and you can hear us anywhere in the world. So tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio.
Now for Lovejoy. Noah Nadu moving out to the left side, outside the left hash marks, outside the left numbers, across the 35-yard line now, and out of bounds at around the 38-yard line. It'll be second and a short. Nice gain on first down. That's something we haven't seen from Lovejoy, getting those chunk yardages on first down. Shotgun now for Hondo Franklin. Again, Nadu right up the middle, right up the gut, and powering his way across the 42-yard line for a first down to the 44. First down for Lovejoy. 6:55 and counting left in the first half of play. We got a low-scoring game, and everybody around the Metroplex thought this was going to be one of the highest-scoring games of this round, but it's 7-0 with 6 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Franklin in the shotgun, drops back, looks left, fires left, and has his man caught at the 48-yard line. The completed pass was to Jack Livingstone, the 6'3", 190 senior. Again, a 3 on the play, makes it 2nd and 7. Franklin hands off to Nadu, bounces around from the right to the left, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and then maybe a couple of yards, a yard shy of the midfield mark. 6:11 and counting here in the second quarter. 3rd and 5 coming up now. 7-0. Lovejoy leads Mansfield Timberview. Trips to the right side. One receiver to the left side. That's lone man Jackson Lavender. Shotgun for Hondo Franklin. A lot of time. Here comes the pressure now. Gets rushed out, and down he goes.
Just couldn't find a receiver open. He was looking downfield, looked left and looked right. Timberview is all over the receivers.
And it was Brian Mitchell who came in and hit first contact on Hondo Franklin. And there to clean up the mess was Zach Esha. A big sack on 3rd down and makes it 4th and 17 from the 37-yard line. So they'll have to punt this one away. Jaden Carlock on to punt. And Todrick Dixon to receive. End-over-end punt. Hits down to the 30-yard line. Bounces forward in favor of Lovejoy. Heads to the right sideline just a bit across the 35, making the 25-yard line and down to the 24. Nice punt again. Jaden Marshall and the Timberview Wolves have some work cut out for them. They haven't moved the ball, consistently all game long. And Ryan, what do they have to do as for Mansfield to get through on this one offensively?
Well, offensively, it looks like, let's see here. It looks like Timberview has to get Titus Evans the ball lately. I mean, the first couple drives, he was easily the quarterback's favorite option. So let's see if they look for him on this one.
Indeed, Jaden Marshall stands in the pistol formation. Fullback to the right of him, Jarvis Reed behind him, the running back. The handoff to Reed on the reader across the 25-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 25-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play. They bring up 2nd and 8, 4:42 on the clock, and counting here in the second quarter. 7-0 Lovejoy over Timberview. The second time these two teams have met in round number 3 in the playoffs. And off to the left side, Reed has some space, 25-30, and a big open field tackle by Peyton Pierce to stop Jarvis Reed from taking that one to the house. But he's just shy of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd and 1 from the 32-yard line.
Big hole on that offensive drive. Andre Kojo on the O-line, holding down 2 people. This kid's a junior. 6'6", 325 pounds.
That is a big body down there. Hands off to Reed, who trips up in the backfield. He tripped up over his own player. It was Cameron Bates who they brought in for a kind of wildcat formation. And Jarvis Reed tripped over Bates' foot, and down he goes on the 3rd and 1, makes it 4th and 3. What a break Lovejoy just caught. And the Leopards have a chance to extend the lead if they can have a good possession. First, they got to take care of this punt right now.
He would have had those yards easy.
Strumila on for his 5th, maybe 6th punt of the night so far. Angle to the left sideline, and not a great punt this time. Referee still walking down that near sideline, and they'll mark him inside Timberview territory at the 48. Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was punt number 5?
Yes, even though it's actually punt number 5 in a row that we have seen. So, actually, I take that back. Let's do a little correction on that one. Lovejoy actually missed that field goal on that one possession.
That's right. You're right. Punt number 4. It's been that kind of game for Lovejoy defensively. Really sticking it to Mansfield Timberview. 7-0 now the score. 3:09 on the clock in the second quarter. Lavender in motion, left to right. Play action, quarterback keeper has some space across the midfield mark, and Hondo Franklin wrestles his way down to the 41-yard line. It's the second time we've seen Franklin move like that. I mean, he's not necessarily quick, but he's slow. No, he's very good at finding the hole.
Keeps moving his feet. He's hard to take down as well. He's big for a quarterback.
2nd and 2 now. He's just a sophomore. And the fact that he's putting up the numbers he has and the way he showed the poise in the pocket and calling these plays, he is the future of Lovejoy football right now. 7-0 Lovejoy over Timberview. 2nd and 2. Dropping back is Franklin. Looking to the left sideline. Throws a deep ball to the left side and incomplete. It was a jump ball intended for Parker Livingstone, and it was Landon Hullaby in on the coverage. Have we seen a flag today? I don't think so. I am loving this game. I haven't seen one flag all game long. I mean, I love it. They're letting the boys play like we've said 4 times today. Trips to the left side. Nadu bounces from right to left. Has some space across the left hash mark. Outside the left numbers. First down now, and there comes a flag, and a helmet comes off far away from the play, and another flag comes in. A couple of linemen are not having quite the civil conversation down there.
A couple of players lost some helmets over there for Lovejoy.
I have a face mask.
Looks like the ref has his mic on down there. And it's 7-0 right now, but after a big run, it was a first down by Nadu. As the refs finally figured out that their mic was on.
Looks like we spoke too soon.
Yeah, Nadu got the first down on a big run. Right now they're spotting him at the 35-yard line, but the refs saw a little, there was a little bit of a kerfuffle, a Donnybrook, if you will, down near the line of scrimmage by a couple of the one of the offensive linemen, actually the center, and one of the defensive linemen for Timberview.
Looks like the defensive lineman for Timberview had his hand inside someone's face mask down there on Lovejoy's team.
Well, when someone comes out, when one of the defensive players or offensive linemen come up with a face mask off, then, with a helmet off, it's definitely a face mask off.
There's 2,000 play. Face mask. Defense. Unsportsmanlike. Defense.
Both on the defense for Timberview. What a big, big play. And that's 15-yard penalty. They're going to see where they spot this ball. I'm curious because they had 2 fouls on the play, 1 personal, and it's going to be a 30-yard penalty. The first penalty of the ball game for either side winds up being a 30-yard penalty. It'll be, I think my math is off. I think it's a 25-yard penalty. Yeah, a 10 and a 15.
10 and 15.
Down to the 10-yard line now is Lovejoy. It looks like the referee forgot his laundry over there at the 40-yard line. You got to go pick it up. And so this ball is going to be spotted at the 10-yard line for Lovejoy.
Big break.
Huge break. They've got a couple of breaks on kind of odd plays Lovejoy has, and whistles come in. We'll see what's going on. 2:09 on the clock in the second quarter. 7-0. Lovejoy leads Timberview. We'll hear from the head referee today in just a sec.
Please reset the game clock to 2:19. The ball will start on the snap.
So the ball will be placed at the 10-yard line. Second quarter. 2:19 on the clock. 7-0. Lovejoy leads. They haven't scored since their very first possession of the ball game, where they got the ball inside the 5-yard line. This time, the Leopards on the prowl, trying to make something happen. First and goal from the 10. Franklin in the shotgun. Drops back, looks right, fires for the lone receiver. Lavender, incomplete, but he had a beat on him. Second and goal now from the 10.
He pushed off the corner. Still no call.
I mean, you're looking for a flag, aren't you? You keep looking for those interferences to see if they're going to call them.
They seem hesitant to even throw that face mask flag.
Second and goal from the 10-yard line. Franklin hands off up the middle to Maynard and past the 10-yard line. The first time we've seen Matthew Maynard get in on the action. It was Dylan McGee, actually, the second time we've seen him run the football. He gained 1 on the play, just like he did last time. We haven't seen Matthew Maynard run the football at all, actually. Wonder if he's all right down there. Didn't get an injury report before the game, but we haven't seen him at all, and he's the second leading rusher on this team. 1:40 and counting here in the first half of play. They're letting that clock wind down as much as possible. Good move by head coach Chris Ross. Dak trips to the right side, just outside the right hash mark, and whistles come in.
Part of the snap. Timeout. Lovejoy.
1:29 on the clock here as they take a timeout. Coach Chris Ross does, and we'll take a 30-second as well when we come back here on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. 1st and 10 now. Make it 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line. 3 receivers to the right side, 2 to the left side. Empty backfield now. Lavender in motion, right to left. No, that's Nadeau. He lines up to the left side of Franklin, who claps his hands. Drops back, looks left, fires left. Vader out to the back corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Intended
for pass interference.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say that, Ryan. They got hands all over that. They're letting them play today. I love it, kind of. You know, it's just no more flags. Any pass that's out there, it's a free-for-all. And bring up 4th down, and the field goal unit will come back out there. Caden Carlock missed a 43-yard attempt earlier. This time, this one is from 25. Make it 26 yards. 4th and 9 now, 1:24 on the clock. Hold is down, kick is up. It looks a little left, but tucks it right into the upright. Lovejoy gets back onto the board. It's 10-0 now, thanks to Caden Carlock. 10-0. 1:20 on the clock in the second. You're listening to 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ, a 23-yard field goal make by Caden Carlock. Makes it a 10-point ball game. 10-0 with 1:20 on the clock. Lovejoy leads Mansfield. And that was really the first time. That was the first time since the very first possession that Lovejoy has gotten some points on the board. Carlock will line it up back for Mansfield Timberview.
I think some really good defense today.
Absolutely. Against really, really tough offensive teams. Carlock puts a boot into this one out to the 5-yard line. Fielded at the 5, and the knee goes down. And they'll start there.
Shop where we shop. North Texas Appliance, located at I-30 in Rockwall. Famous brands like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, General Electric, Monogram, and many others. First quality appliances also come at good prices. That's North Texas Appliance in Rockwall.
10-0 now. Lovejoy lead. 1:20 on the clock, and we'll see Jaden Marshall back out there for Mansfield Timberview. Looking to get something going, but Lovejoy loves where they're sitting, man. I like when Lovejoy wins. 1:20 on the clock. Right smack dab in the middle of the field. Trips to the right side for Jaden Marshall. To the left of him is Jarvis Reed, who's had a fantastic game. Dropping back to the right side. There comes the line. It's a bubble screen out to the right side. Caught by Samarian Chambliss. Goes from the right to the left, outside the left. Numbers down the left sideline. He goes. 40, 35, 30, 25, 10, 5. Touchdown. Touchdown, Mansfield Timberview. One play, one score. 6 points.
Big by Jarvis Reed. Broke a tackle. Broke a few legs as well. Had a couple of spin moves. Got around the corner. Was able to run that all the way down.
And Timberview right back in this game.
Absolutely, as a flag comes in on the extra point try. They do this thing that I've seen in high school so many times, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called.
All scored. Number 11 offense. Player never got set. We will retry.
So a player didn't get set. They snap the ball, and they do this thing like I was talking about where they line up with like 5 offensive linemen at the numbers, and then at 3 to the right. They got a couple of running backs, and then I don't even know what they're going to do. I have no idea. But I've never seen it work. So they're going to try the extra point right here. 5 yards back from where you normally take the extra point tries. High snap, it gets down, the kick is up, and it's right through the uprights. We got a ball game, folks. 10-7, 104 on the clock here in the second quarter as Mansfield Timberview gets on the board. Lovejoy still leads by 3 on 92.1 FM, KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
10-7 the score. Lovejoy leads the Mansfield Timberview Wolves, but they finally get on the board with 104 on the clock in the second. On a big-time run, catch and run on the bubble screen by Chambliss. It was Samarian Chambliss who went crazy for a big score on one play for Mansfield. Kickoff at the 10-yard line, fielded by McGee across the 20 to 25, has some space and some blockers around the 30-yard line, and a nice return by McGee as he gets it to the 36-yard line, still pushing the pile down to the 40. I was ready to call him down to the 30-yard line, but somehow his teammates got behind him, and they'll start the play and start the drive at the 40-yard line.
He's a large dude. It might take a few more Timberwolves to put him down.
Dylan McGee stands at 5'10", 195. I mean, he's a big body down there. Finding the holes, dodging through traffic, and finally getting knocked down. From the 40-yard line now, Hondo Franklin will take over with 54 seconds on the clock left to go in the first half. 10-7, a 3-point ball game. Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview. Hand off to Nadeau, bounces to the outside the right hash, and kind of flings his body across the 45-yard line. They're going to give him the 45 exactly, a 5-yard gain on first down. Moving quickly now, 2nd and 5. Franklin drops back, looks down the left side of the field, and incomplete, underthrown big time, intended for his big-time receiver, Livingstone. And there's 32 seconds left in the first half of play.
I believe he needed to stop the clock, so he tried to go deep, try to make something happen, instead of wasting a timeout.
Yeah, you kind of have to do that sometimes, especially when your offense is a little bit stalling. 10-7 now for the right hash mark. Bunch formation. They just hand this one off to Nadeau, who's tripped up in the backfield. Kind of a very conservative play call right there from Lovejoy, don't you think?
Timeout, Timberview.
Not expected.
Yeah, Timberview wanted to get the ball back here.
Yeah, a lot of time right now. 26 seconds. The punt unit will come out, but, I mean, like we saw, they can score quickly. Timberview's got that big play ability, especially when they have Evans and Chambliss and Marshall with a big arm. They got Jarvis Reed in the backfield as the Lovejoy Leopards take a timeout with 26 seconds left. Stopping the clock, or actually Timberview took the timeout, stopping the clock at 26. 10-7 on the clock. Here from the Ford Center at the Star. 4th and 6 from the 44-yard line. Lovejoy will come out to punt. It's Caden Carlock out to do the punting. And Timberview's Todrick Dixon will receive. Special teams has been an exciting kind of circus today. We'll see how this one fares. Good snap this time. This one gets up and almost blocked as Carlock just gets it off. The wave by Dixon. Fumbles it a bit, but it happens to fall on it after he calls a fair catch. And with 17 seconds left in the first half, Timberview will take over at the 30-yard line. It'll be the 27-yard line, actually. As we'll see what they do. What do you do here, Dakota? Do you take the shot, or you just play it out down by 3? You get the ball. They'll get the ball back to start the second half.
I think you should go down. Move the chain as far as you can. See if you can at least get another field goal in.
I like it. Aggressive play call.
I agree.
Absolutely. Trips to the left side. Marshall in the shotgun from the right hash mark. Jarvis Reed to the right of him. The lone receiver to the right side is Evans. Dropping back. Marshall throwing to the right side. And ball was caught. My goodness. Near the midfield mark. A diving grab by Braylon Jones.
Unbelievable. You not know he had to get his hands in there between the cornerback.
The clock stops because of the first down with 10 seconds left. They get them all the way down to the 48-yard line, and Braylon Jones. Something's going on down there as Lovejoy's.
They're really going to field as an incomplete pass.
Oh, he came up with it. Braylon Jones dove and came up with it. We'll see on the replay. We get the benefit of it. And watching it right now, yes, it did hit. It was a right call by the official in real time even. Nice call by the official. And now it's 2nd and 10 with 10 seconds left from the 27-yard line. Braden Marshall in the shotgun. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Reed to the right of him. 10-7 the score. Lovejoy up by 3 over Timberview. He drops back. Marshall stepping up in the pocket, now going to the right side. Past the 25-yard line, a flag comes in, and a man wide open, Titus Evans in the middle of the field, but he missed him.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
That was a hard call to miss. 77 just stayed on top of that defensive end. Laid on top of him.
Again, that was Andre Kojo, who is, if you have Kojo laying on top of you, man, you got an absolute problem right there. 6'6", 325 pounds. He is a huge left tackle for Timberview. That pushes them back 10 yards. It'll be 2nd and 20 now with 3 seconds left. And they've got the spread offense out there. Reed to the left of Marshall. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Marshall takes the snap, looks left, fires left. Chambliss in the slot. That's the 20, the 25, and out of bounds with no time left on the clock here in the first half. That will do it for the first half. 10-7, Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview. In the 3rd round of the Texas High School playoffs, the 2nd time we've seen these 2 teams in 2 years play each other in this regional semifinal match. Lovejoy up by 3, headed to halftime on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. The halftime score here at the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. 10-7. The Lovejoy Leopards have just a slight lead, a 3-point lead over the Mansfield Timberview Wolves. We'll have Dakota talk to you about the sponsors for today's game. Dakota, who are those beautiful sponsors that we love so much?
Our sponsors this game are Smith's Quality Greenhouse, North Texas Appliance in Rockwall, Belfory Spa and Salon.
And those are the sponsors for tonight's ball game. Ryan, you've said you've got some, you've been keeping track of the drive summary, and you've been talking about how both teams have been not really doing all they can offensively between the breaks, but what do you got so far on the drive summaries for this game so far, the scoring drives?
So the scoring drives so far, Ethan, so we actually had only 3 scoring drives this game. It's been incredibly defensive. But those 3 scoring drives, so Lovejoy got the ball off of that first possession fumble by Timberview, and so they had one play on that drive, 3-yard touchdown by number 7 there, Peyton Pierce. And the next scoring drive they had was a 26-yard field goal. And then the next scoring drive after that is Timberview's incredible one-play drive for 75-yard touchdown on that one.
That was Samarian Chambliss who caught that ball on a bubble screen from right to left. He literally was the widest receiver to the right side of the field, and then took it all the way down the left sideline for a 73-yard touchdown reception. It's 10-7 here at the Ford Center. 92.1 FM at KXEZ has the coverage for you. Lovejoy 10, Mansfield Timberview 7. Back here at the halftime show on 92.1 KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ. Halftime score here at the Ford Center. 10-7. Lovejoy over the Mansfield Timberview Wolves.
92.1 FM KXEZ is your Metroplex home for Texas A&M football and men's basketball. The Aggies football team will head to Death Valley on Saturday to take on the LSU Tigers. Kickoff at 6 p.m. Pregame at 5 p.m. Texas A&M men's basketball will play at Reed Arena for the first time in 2 weeks to play host to the New Orleans Privateers next Tuesday. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. Pregame at 5:30. We have our full coverage for you here at 92.1 FM KXEZ.
You hear the voice of the Texas A&M Aggies. Andrew Monaco call those basketball games. But right now, here at the Ford Center, we've had some big numbers put up, but not as big as we thought we were going to be. I'll go through some team stats right now. First downs for Lovejoy, 8. Mansfield Timberview has 6. And the total yards is kind of crazy to think about. You see a couple of teams who average well over 400 yards a game on the offensive side as the defense has really taken over, like Ryan Salinas had said. Total yards for Lovejoy, 111 in total, and 147 for Mansfield Timberview. 57 through the air for Lovejoy, which I think is one of the craziest ones Dakota has seen. Hondo Franklin coming in with the big numbers, the big arm. I know he's just a sophomore, but he's got the numbers, and he's only got 57 passing yards through this first half. Is it because of the defense, or is he a little off, does it look like?
Might be a combination of both, but Timberview's been playing well. Hondo's been looking for people downfield, wasn't able to. Cornerbacks are all over his receivers. Another thing, I think he's moving the chains when he's going short passes, 5 yards, 10 yards. But when he gets in closer to that red zone, he tries to make something big happen and falls short. Loses 2 downs right away, and they seem to have to punt right after that.
Well, he's only completed 4 passes all game long. I mean, it's weird. I have not noticed that. Have y'all really seen that there's only been, can you really believe there's only been 4 passes completed for Franklin, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in his district and in 5A Division II, the numbers-wise at least.
It seems weird. It's got to say something about Timberview's defense.
I agree. Their secondary has been all over it. 54 rushing yards, pretty much even keel right there for the Mansfield, or for the Lovejoy Leopards. 54 rushing yards brought to you by Noah Nadeau, Peyton Pierce, Dylan McGee, and Alexander Hondo Franklin, although he's rushed it 4 times for a total of 0 yards. Nadeau leads the rushing attack for Lovejoy, 11 attempts on 50 yards, no touchdowns, and it was Peyton Pierce who started out the scoring for both sides early in the first quarter on their first possession. Had a 1 rush for 3 yards and that touchdown. Peyton Pierce, who also got the sack. If you remember, on that first possession in Mansfield, had the football on that side, on the Timberview side. 130 passing yards for Jaden Marshall, who's been crazy great, and only 17 rushing yards, which coming in, we thought Jarvis Reed was going to be a big part of that offense. Ryan, you look like you were itching to say something over there. What do you got?
And I was just going through these stats over here, and I was just really surprised when Alexander Franklin only completing 4 of 14 attempts, bringing that to him a 28% completion rating. Jaden Marshall, sorry about that. Jaden Marshall is really having his way with this Lovejoy defense right now. Let's see if Lovejoy comes out to play in the second half. Lovejoy does have a lead by 3, but Timberview, they are moving the ball very well.
Absolutely. Jaden Marshall has been commanding his troops very well here in the first half. 130 yards all told for him here in the in the first half. With a touchdown pass, it was that long 73-yard touchdown pass to Samarian Chambliss, who's got 3 catches for 95 yards and a touchdown. Titus Evans is the only other receiver for Mansfield Timberview to have a catch, and he's got 2 for 35 yards. Rushing-wise, Jarvis Reed, 13 attempts for 43 yards. They have a little bit of Tyler Sturmula has negative 17 yards, and that's affecting the total yards. Jaden Marshall has negative 9, but Sturmula is, I don't think that's actually a rushing attempt, they'll call it. It's going to be some sort of sack, so we can take those 17 yards away from the total at the end of the game. But right now, the Timberview offense looks like it is dominating the Lovejoy offense. However, the defenses have both stepped up. 10-7, the score. Lovejoy lead the Mansfield Timberview Wolves here at the half. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about this beautiful, beautiful arena we're in, the Ford Center. And we'll have Ryan tell us a little bit about the penalties of here and today and yesterday, as he's been talking about all day long. When we come back at the halftime show on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back here at the halftime, here at the Ford Center, 10-7 the halftime score. Lovejoy over Timberview in the regional semifinal round. The second time these two have met each other in this round in 2 years. The penalties we talked about, Dakota and Ryan, that they hadn't had any penalties until late in the second quarter when, there was a couple of personal foul penalties, and there's only been 3 all game long. All have been on Mansfield Timberview.
There's only been, 17 points in this game? It's been fun.
Right.
They've been letting everybody play. Anything close, no flags been thrown. It's been great.
I like it, right? You're not always having to stop, worry about unnecessary yardage that's been tacked on. I mean, it's been all clear. The only penalties that have been the personal foul and the holding, and that was on one play. And then there was the false start. So it's been a very clean game played by both teams. But Ryan, the penalties in this game is kind of, you were talking about, and since we are in the practice home of the Cowboys, you were talking about, because you're a big Cowboys fan.
Oh, yeah.
How it's completely opposite as what you saw last night.
Right. I mean, just being here in this facility and just, this beautiful Dallas Cowboys facility, and then just seeing 3 penalties called in this game so far, it just makes me hope that those NFL referees might be paying attention to this broadcast, Maybe they might learn a little something about keeping the laundry in their pockets.
That's a true Cowboys fan.
It seemed just about every play yesterday, you just had to take a look at the bottom of the screen to see if there was any foul calls after that one. But
it was 14 penalties for 147 yards.
Yeah, and actually both teams combined had 28 penalties called. It was an NFL record, actually.
Very, very clean game right there.
So this game is quite a relief to watch. These refs are letting these athletes go at it, and it has been very entertaining. Like Dakota mentioned, only 17 points scored in this game, but it has been one heck of a battle between these two teams.
It was a completely different game like it was last year. It was 65-54, something like that. But it was a 60-something to a 50-something game last year, playing at Globe Life Park, and it's like these offenses can't move, but you said it, Dakota, the defense is what's been big. It's ridiculous how good they're playing in the secondary to stop the run or stop the pass from Lovejoy, Mansfield Timberview, and on the opposite side, Lovejoy's front line is stopping the run in big time. I mean, they technically only have 17 rushing yards in that first half. I mean, 34 if you're not counting the punt dropped by Strumula. 10-7 is the halftime score. Halfway through this halftime, I thought we were going to see more bands out here. There's no marching band has come out, and maybe not yet, but I want to keep you posted on that because I know y'all back there listening want to hear about the marching bands from Lovejoy and Mansfield Timberview. 10-7 halftime score. Lovejoy over Timberview here at the Ford Center on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM, KXEZ, 10-7 the halftime score. Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview here at the Ford Center in Frisco. A couple things real quick about this game, this round 3 regional semifinal game. The winner will take on the winner. Actually, no. Coming in, Aledo. Man, you know what? I just saw this. This is today. 2 o'clock, Aledo went down South Oak Cliff, who we called last week against Frisco. Took down Aledo, who is a 4-time state champion, 4 times in a row, 4 consecutive state championships in a row. South Oak Cliff took down Aledo. This is the first time I'm seeing that. That's ridiculous. And now the winner of this game will take on a very strong South Oak Cliff team who's got the defense and got all the makings of, well, they took down one of the best teams in Texas. They got the makings of a state championship team. Lovejoy and Mansfield, the winner of this game, will take on South Oak Cliff in the quarterfinals. Going back to, day after Thanksgiving, a beautiful time, my favorite holiday. I don't know what y'all's is, Ryan and Dakota, but it's definitely Thanksgiving for me because, and it's not what you think. It's the food.
So it is what I think.
Yeah, exactly what you think. Okay, so there's all this thing on social media nowadays about Thanksgiving the food being overrated. People don't like turkey. People don't like ham, which I like both, but I'm more of a turkey guy. Turkey over gravy. Turkey on gravy over ham. So my question to y'all is, you a turkey guy or a ham guy?
What about the turkey inside the ham?
Turkey inside the ham.
Wait, other way around.
No, I think if you do turkey inside the ham, that's something. You got something there. Ryan, what about you?
Why not both, right?
Yeah, why not both?
I think turkey. I'll take turkey over it. I think next year we're going to try the turducken, though.
Actually, I was at Dakota's house for Thanksgiving yesterday, and Dakota made the turkey. He brined it overnight. You know, he went to Kroger, got all the ingredients, threw it all in a bucket in an ice chest, and then it came out to be terrific. It was nice and tender.
Hey, first try.
You know, I was actually surprised not to see you on one of those viral videos, those Thanksgiving cooking fails.
Oh, yeah, so, with the ones that go on catch on fire.
So shout out to you, Dakota.
I videoed it just in case. Just in case it exploded. I was half expecting it.
10-7 is the halftime score. Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview. What is y'all's go-to side? That's the big one.
Oh,
for
man,
me,
that's a good one.
Side could be Thanksgiving sides. There's a huge list of them, but what's your go-to Thanksgiving side?
Does Hawaiian roll count?
I'm going to say non-bread related, because Dakota loves the bread, man. Dakota will go through grocery stores, find they have that hot bread sometimes, especially down south at HEB. They'll have that bread. Dakota will take it and just eat the whole bread by the end of the time he's shopping. You know, it's samples, isn't it?
All right. At college, it's like what? Like $2 for a giant loaf of bread. That's like 3 meals right there.
Exactly.
That's true. So what is y'all's go-to side?
I'm going mashed potatoes. It's gotta be up there.
The classic.
Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna say the same thing. Mashed potatoes and gravy doesn't get better than that.
You're right. I'm gonna go a little bit different. Controversial. Green bean casserole. Green bean casserole is I love it. Can't get enough of it.
You know, I actually did see some odds on some Thanksgiving side dishes. Let me see if I can pull them up. Just give me
do.
10-7,
Lovejoy has the lead.
I'll tell you what, green bean casserole is not at the top of that list.
It could be. I like green bean casserole. I mean, everybody loves mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, and I'm not just trying to be different. I don't like. I'm very anti-stuffing. Anti-stuffing.
And here we go, actually. I did pull up these Thanksgiving MVP odds for the Thanksgiving sides. And my number one, just like me and Dakota, our favorites here, mashed potatoes and gravy.
I mean, you have to, right? That's the number one. That's the juggernaut right there.
And your green bean casserole, Ethan, sorry to tell you, that's third to last. Not looking good.
Third to last. What's behind green bean casserole?
The next thing behind green bean casserole is some Brussels sprouts.
Which you love. We had Brussels sprouts last night. I ate them all. I ate about 40 Brussels sprouts last night. Ridiculous. Actually, that's probably accurate. Ugh.
And coming in dead last behind Brussels sprouts is some cornbread. So,
what?
Yeah.
I love all three. Those are my top three. Those are my 3 favorite Thanksgiving sides.
Well, you seem to always go against the fray, man.
I don't mean to. It's just who doesn't like...
You're just different, right? That's it.
Different.
Sticking to the greens was your favorite Thanksgiving side.
Oh, yeah. I'm not trying to be healthy. It just tastes good. I throw bacon in it. And you throw bacon in green bean casserole, bacon in Brussels sprouts, and bacon in cornbread. Try it out.
I did have some green bean casserole yesterday, and it was absolutely delicious.
Love it. 10-7, Lovejoy over Mansfield here at halftime. The teams are heading back out. They're doing their calisthenics out in the end zone, and we are going to go... we are going to get the second half started straight ahead on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Also, we'll be back at it tomorrow, bringing you some Saturday playoff action. The Guyer Wildcats are going to meet the Byron Nelson Bobcats right back here at the Ford Center in Frisco. Kickoff at 2:30 p.m. Pregame at 2 o'clock. So be sure to tune in to 92.1 KXEZ, your Metroplex leader in high school sports. Halftime score here at the Ford Center today, 10-7. Yeah, it's a barn burner here in the Ford Center as Lovejoy has the slight lead over Mansfield Timberview. couple of the scores from around the area. We already mentioned the huge upset that took place, South Oak Cliff over Aledo. Frisco Wakeland, 35-45 loss to College Station. I called the last game. If you've been listening all day long, if you've just been sitting in your house or in your car, turning on the radio and just having it on for about 10 hours straight, you would have listened to me call the Quinlan Ford at Texarkana Pleasant Grove game, as Texarkana won that one 17-7. Aubrey beat pretty heartily Mohans. I can never say this right. Monahans. Is that right? Monahans. I always get it wrong. 42-7. Jim Ned and Brock play tomorrow. Actually, they play today. I'm going to check out the score on that later on. The big games tomorrow. The very big games tomorrow. Euless, Trinity, and Allen will play. South Lake Carroll and Louisville will take on, will be playing at 2 o'clock again at Coppell. Tascosa and Colleyville will play. DeSoto and West Springfield. Good friend of mine, John Little, will have the call for you on that one at 4 o'clock. San Antonio's Alamo Dome. And after that, Rockwall Heath and Tombo will play at 8 o'clock. Dakota, you have some good memories over there at the Alamo Dome?
Oh, yeah. It's, I was also one of the people that lost there. Yeah, final game of my high school career in football was at the Alamo Dome, so I'm going to have a lot in common with either the kids from Rockwall Heath or Tomball.
You know who actually has not lost in the Alamo Dome this year?
Yeah, I do. Can I answer that?
Go ahead.
The University of Texas at San Antonio Roadrunners. The Roadrunners, baby.
11-0.
Go Runners.
Yeah,
ranked 22 in the country right now?
It doesn't make sense.
Meep.
It does make sense because they're amazing.
Meep, right?
Yep.
They got better hope they don't play the Coyotes. Was it Nevada? No, it's I had it for a second. It's gone now. One of the SDS teams. Anyway, I'll get back to you on that. It's 10-7 Lovejoy over Mansfield at the start of the second half. We're about ready to go. Lovejoy will receive to start this second half. And we'll see if they can get that offense rolling. The offense we talked about all pregame long, all week long. It's been this crazy talk about the Lovejoy offense going crazy. Well, I haven't quite seen that madness from them. Hopefully they can get it going and rolling to start the second half. Kickoff. Fielded by Lavender. Actually, fielded by McGee. Across the 34-yard line, the 24-yard line. Now the 35. And getting up and having some words with a couple of guys. It was actually Trent Rucker, the younger brother of the former quarterback for this Lovejoy team, R.W. Rucker, who had 8 touchdown passes in this matchup last year against Mansfield Timberview. 10-7 the score, 11:52 on the clock in the third, and we'll see the new quarterback, the future for this Lovejoy Leopards team. That's Hondo Franklin. On the right hash mark to the right of him is Noah Nadu. Stack trips to the left side, the left hash mark. Tight end of the ball game. That tight end is Lane Droopy. Man left in motion, left to right, is Jackson Lavender. He gets set on the far right side outside the numbers. Play action. Franklin drops back, has some time. To the right sideline, caught by Jackson Lavender, out of bounds near the 43-yard line. Nice play on first down, Dakota.
Seems to be having a lot of luck with those quick routes like that. A lot of success.
Those little out routes, I was just going to say, have brought a lot of success to Franklin. And that's what you were talking about. Short 5-yard passes, that's what he's doing well. So stick with it. Franklin, swing pass to Lavender, out to the left side, covers the 38-yard line, has some space, 45-50 across midfield. First down, Lovejoy inside Timberview territory. 2 plays and already inside the opponent's playing field.
Yeah, Lavender easily becoming Franklin's favorite receiver here.
Lavender, as we talked about before, is an SMU commit. His father, Jason Lavender, is the offensive coordinator and former Texas Tech wide receiver. Out to the left side and caught by the big body. If I'm not mistaken, that was Jack Livingstone down there. You're right. Gets to the 45-yard line, gain of 4, and a man is down for Mansfield.
Official timeout on the field.
For Mansfield Timberview. It's a down to Wolf down there. While they take a look at him, we'll take a listen to this on 92.1 FM, KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM at KXEZ.
Our sponsors this evening are Smith's Quality Greenhouses in North Texas Appliances in Rockwall, Belfiore Spa and Salon.
Yeah, Belfiore Spa and Salon is a beautiful place. I get my hair done there sometimes too. That's a lie. I don't actually, but I knew someone who did once. Now I've heard nothing but great things about Belfiore Spa and Salon as the injured Wolf gets up, walking to the sideline under his own power. Let's hope that he's okay. He's got a little bit of a limp. That's Joel Ardern down there. So hope he's all right with 11.
He's at the bottom of the pile.
Absolutely. 10-7 the score. Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview. 11-11. Make a wish here in the third quarter. 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6 from the 45-yard line, going left to right. Two receivers on either side. No, two to the right side, tied into the ball game. Lane Druby, the 6'1", 190 tight end, lines up, and now Livingstone motion left to right. And up to Nadeau, up the middle, dances around, bounces inside, and powers his way to the 40, the 35, and my goodness!
What a run.
That's showbiz, baby!
Plowed through two linebackers, took down a safety.
Noah Nadeau, lowering his shoulder and looking for contact. Big first down for Lovejoy. Snap out to the right side. The toss to the right side by Franklin. He's got him!
Franklin's been looking for that big play all day long. He's finally been able to connect.
He hits it. Jackpot. That's Jack Livingstone. And finally, like you said, Dakota, Hondo Franklin gets the big play, and another 6 points go on the board for Lovejoy. Wow, the quick strike ability. I mean, they were hot after the Nadeau run. They get up right to the line and fire it big time for 30-plus yards. Extra point goes right through the upright. It's 17-7, 10-point lead for the Lovejoy Leopards over the Timberview Wolves on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM KXEZ, a 10-point lead for the Lovejoy Leopards, 17-7. Correction. Thank you, Ryan Salinas, for correcting me. It was not Jack Livingstone. It was Parker Livingstone, the older brother, or the little brother of Jack Livingstone, who got that touchdown pass from Hondo Franklin. Kickoff fielded right at the goal line, the 10-yard line, the 15, and falls down across the 15-yard line to the 14-yard line. Nice return by Tyler Madison. So you said during the break, that was a really good throw. I mean, when you said it, he's been trying to get after that the entire game, finally connects with his big-time wide receiver.
The wide receiver was able to get a break from the corner. Got a little push-off, got to the corner, the back of the end zone. Right. Hondo threw it right into the corner.
And that was Parker Livingstone's 15th touchdown reception on the year.
Very impressive. There was that explosive offense we've been looking to see from Lovejoy.
Absolutely. Two receivers on the right side, one to the left. Tied into the ball game for Jaden Marshall. Hands off up the middle. Jarvis Reed, who hasn't got much going all game long, gets it to the 23-yard line. First possession of the second half now for the Timberview Wolves in the pistol formation. Reed behind Marshall. Hand off to the right side. Reed trying to get something going. Gets hit in the backfield, and down he goes. Don't tell me. It was Peyton Pierce once again who's had his who's had his name all over this game.
Yeah, Peyton Pierce, only a sophomore here. He has offered D1 offer from North Texas. And on that play, he put his 4.640 to work on that one.
Absolutely. 4.640, ridiculous speed. He had that first touchdown of the ball game for Lovejoy. 17-7 now, 9:45 on the clock in the third. 3rd and 9. Marshall drops back, fires to the middle of the field in traffic, and almost picked off. A diving play by the big-time safety, Trent Rucker. Instead of an interception, they'll bring up 4th down.
He had it right in his hands. He bumbled it a little bit. Just couldn't hang on.
Either way, it'll be another punt for the Timberview Wolves. What punt number is that, Ryan?
That is punt number 9 of the game.
For both sides or just Timberview?
Both sides.
Wow. I mean, I'll keep mentioning it. We talked about the offense, the defense that's coming up big. 4th and 8. Here's the punt. High snap. Just getting it corralled is the punter. Strumula, high punt and a good punt after what looked like could be danger, rolls across the 50-yard line in Lovejoy territory. They're going to down it right past the 45 at the 46-yard line. And we'll see Hondo Franklin back out there after the big-time touchdown pass he threw last possession. You got to like that kid Hondo, right?
Oh, yeah. We'll see if they actually start letting the ball fly a little bit more. He's been very consistent with his short passes. Lovejoy's only averaging about 5 yards per play here. So considering the fact that they scored on that long pass last drive, we'll see if they open it up a little bit more.
We'll see exactly what goes down here in the second possession of the second half. 9:24 on the clock in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. The right hash mark. Play action. Franklin dropping back, firing down the right sideline. He's got some space for Lavender. Just underthrew him.
A couple flags on the play.
Holding. 72 offense. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And the first penalty of the ball game for the Lovejoy Leopards comes on an incomplete pass intended for Jackson Lavender.
Marco Ibanez, the offensive lineman for Lovejoy, held on to his defensive lineman just a little too long.
That looks like both refs on their on the field threw their flags on that one.
Yeah,
looking at the same thing.
Exactly. That's 17-7. Lovejoy over Mansfield Timberview. Nadu to the left of Franklin. Man in motion, left to right to tight end, Will Branham. Sweeping out to the right side, outside the right hash mark. Still moving around is Nadu and tripped up behind the line of scrimmage in the backfield by that Timberview Wolves, Jonathan Smith. 5'11", 180-pound junior is Smith. Makes a nice play on first down. Going to be second in quite some distance. Second in a mile now. Pretty much the same distance as where Ryan parked the car from here.
Oh, yeah.
Trips to the right side, from the right hash mark. In the shotgun, they try to get him draw off sides, and now Franklin tells everybody to calm down and relax before they reset this play. 10 seconds on the play clock now. 8:36 and counting here in the third quarter. 17-7, 10-point lead for Lovejoy. Play action. Franklin dropping back, has some time, drift to the right side. This time just has to throw it away. Smart play from a sophomore, just to throw it away instead of taking a chance downfield into some coverage. And they live to fight on another down.
Yeah, he was looking for Jackson Lavender there again on that one.
Safety seems to be all over Jackson.
Well, I mean, after you give up that play downfield, you see how, I mean, you don't want anybody to beat you, especially not the best receiver on this team, Jackson Lavender. 8:24 on the clock here in the third quarter. 3rd and 21 coming up from the 34-yard line. Right hash mark for Hondo Franklin. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Play action. Looks to the left, fires left, just wide and high of his intended receiver, Kyle Parker. That brings up a 4th down and another defensive stop.
Parker might have had some room. He was able to come down with that ball. Hondo threw it a little too high.
He has one-on-one coverage and had his man beat just a bit on the comeback route. And now it's 4th and 21, and we'll see Caden Carlock out there to punt the ball away. Todrick Dixon to receive for the Wolves from Timberview. High snap, it goes over the head of Carlock. He picks it up and punts it away. Carlock avoiding disaster, and the ball hits down at the 40 and takes a roll for Lovejoy and is down at the 42-yard line. It was snapped over the head of Caden Carlock, and he had the wherewithal to pick it up on the hop and just let it rip.
Yeah, the punter Carlock there really showing off his athleticism on that one.
You know, they say that all the time. If you're a big fan of Pat McAfee, he'll say the best athletes in the NFL are punters. I disagree slightly, but really he made a case for that on that one, did Carlock. I mean, it wasn't a great punt altogether, but in terms of what it could have been, it was fantastic.
Instead of being down to 10.
Right, exactly.
Back to halfway of the field.
Jaden Marshall now from the 41-yard line inside Lovejoy territory. Man in motion right to left. That's Chambliss. He'll set up in the left slot. Drops back, looks down the left sideline, left field, and incomplete, intended for the receiver, Braylon Jones. Running back into the ballgame now for Timberview is Javion Madison, the 5'8", 190-pound junior. here to start the second drive of the second half. I don't see Jarvis Reed out there at all. I don't know if they're just trying something out right now, giving him a rest, but we'll see how Madison fares to the left of Marshall. Man in motion, right to left. Again, that's Chambliss. Snap to Marshall. Play action. Fires to the left side as a man wide open to the 25-yard line. First down for Timberview. Davion McKinnon, the junior wide receiver, standing at 6'3", makes a nice catch and angles toward the sideline, down to the 24-yard line.
A great play action. Safety didn't see it coming. Safety was taking a charge in. Broke a little late. Was able to pull that one down.
From the 24-yard line now, going right to left. Marshall claps his hand, waits for the snap. Chambliss in motion. Once again, play action again to Chambliss. Comes at 21, spins out of it, and a gain of about 3 on the play to the 21-yard line. Actually, they're going to mark him at the 19. Kind of a generous spot right there from the line judge, but that's exactly what happened. Nice catch and run from Samarian Chambliss, who has a 73-yard touchdown in this game, the only score of the game for Timberview. Madison to the left of Marshall after he talked to his lineman in the shotgun. 2 receivers stacked to the left side as the numbers. They fake the pass now and hand it off to Madison, who goes nowhere. A gain of maybe 2 on the play.
Forward progress has stopped.
Ball came out, but it was after forward progress, as you heard from the official.
Senior Dylan McGee on the stop on that one.
You want to hear something crazy about Dylan McGee?
Let's hear it.
He is a nationally ranked lacrosse player, and he's committed.
Timeout. Lovejoy. First team timeout of the second half.
Did I have you on your toes there for a second? Dylan McGee, a nationally ranked lacrosse player, and he's committed to Ohio State to play lacrosse.
Incredible. Incredible. That must be the stat of the night, honestly.
No, that's ridiculous. I saw that earlier, and I was like, oh my goodness. And he's already having a huge impact in this game. 17-7 is the score here.
So Dylan McGee actually did make the start at running back earlier.
He did.
Don't forget, you can get us here at 92.1 KXEZ. You can hear the games on TuneIn Radio. Go to TuneInRadio.com or TuneIn Radio app. Click on 92.1 KXEZ. You can hear us anywhere in the world. So tell your out-of-town family and friends about TuneIn Radio.
17-7 the score, 6:30 on the clock in the third quarter. 3rd and 3. Here we go. Timberview in the shotgun. Marshall in the shotgun. Fires to the left side. Tips out. Incomplete pass. And a big play on 3rd down forces a 4th. It was Brian Kotecki, that 5'10", 195-pound defensive lineman. Swatted that ball down the line of scrimmage, and an incomplete pass makes it 4th and 3 from the 17.
He tried to go for that screen, wasn't able to. D-line got through pretty quickly.
It looks like Coach Brown here is keeping the offense on the field.
Absolutely. 4th and 3. Here we go. Pistol formation. Marshall. Reed back in the ball game behind him. The snap. Reed up the middle. No. Quarterback keeper. Marshall. 15. Slides down to 10. And flags come in. First down for Timberview. But as Marshall was going to the ground, one of the Lovejoy players hit him after he gave himself up. So there's definitely going to be flags on the play. They're going to talk about exactly what they're going to do.
Looks like he lost his helmet on that tackle.
Trent Rucker came in just a tad hot on that one. That was a read play by Braden Marshall. Instead of giving it to his running back, Reed, he pulled it out and got the first down at open space, and a beautiful play and job by Jaden Marshall, who came off the sideline, came off the field.
Targeting 1. That's his first targeting of the game. Second will cause ejection. Half the distance to the goal. First down Timberview.
So they call it targeting. They're going to say that's what the conversation was about, and whether it was malicious or it was intentional for any sort of time or way to hurt the player, if that makes any sense. So they talk about it. They say it was unintentional. He didn't mean to go after the player and hit him, but he does come out of the ball game. Marshall,
it was pretty unintentional. He took a good hit. He was shaken up a bit.
And Cameron Bates comes in to do the quarterbacking. In the pistol formation with Reed behind him. Reed gets it left side, puts his helmet down, and gets hit in the backfield. stops at the line of scrimmage, and again, it's the big-time defensive lineman, Brian Kotecki. And Marshall's still out of the ball game. He's on the sideline with his helmet off, but he is right there next to his head coach cheering on his team. Bates in the pistol formation. Reed behind him. The fullback in the ball game is A.J. Heredia. Two receivers to the right side. Bates claps his hands, takes the snap. Reed up the middle. No. Bates, quarterback keeper. 5, pushing for the end zone, and a big-time play by Dylan McGee. The Ohio State lacrosse player commit. Stops him short of the goal line at the 2-yard line.
He picked him up right at the end. He was headed towards the middle of the field. Saw the quarterback trying to run that in. Touchdown back around and grab him.
Jaden Marshall had that play and got the first down. They try to give it to Bates and do the same thing, but no dice. Odd formation right here. Pistol formation offset with a fullback. Third and goal from the 2-yard line. Bates in the shotgun. Claps his hands, awaits the snap. Reed, they give it to him. Left side, 5, fighting for the pylon, and touchdown, Timberview.
He dives for the pylon. Able to grab that touchdown right there.
And Jarvis Reed, the second touchdown of the ball game for this Timberview team, and they're back in it. Here's that kind of wild 2-point conversion sort of style play, and it's Bates was going to pass it, and this time short of the goal line. Short of the goal line, so no good on the extra point try.
The extra point is no good.
There's a fumble at the end there, knocked it out of his hand.
And so with 4:58 on the clock, it'll stay a 4-point ball game, 17-13. Lovejoy still with the lead on 92.1 FM KXEZ. 3-yard touchdown run by Jarvis Reed makes it a 13-17 ball game after the extra point try on the 2-point conversion was unsuccessful. So it's a 4-point game. Lovejoy over Timberview with 4:58 in the third to go.
A very interesting play call on that one by Coach Brown.
Yeah, I know you weren't very happy with it. I told you about my experience in watching those kinds of plays go down, as it was, again, the offset kind of 2-point conversion style, as this one angled to the sideline and caught out of bounds. Smart play by Jackson Lavender, and the officials are getting together. It should be a penalty right there.
His foot might have been in when he caught the ball.
Boy, if he had a foot out of bounds when he caught the ball, then it would have been out of bounds.
The ruling on the field is the player was in bounds whenever he caught it, then he stepped out of bounds. It'll be first down Lovejoy.
That's a little odd to me. I mean, Brian, I think you had the right eye right there, though. He caught it in bounds, took a step outside, so no penalty right there. Jackson Lavender was trying to do it, but didn't quite execute it as well. But back to the 2-point conversion, I told you I never see it work. And it would have been a one-possession game or a 3-point game, just a field goal away if they just tried the extra point try on the field goal. Either way, 17-14, 4:58 to go here in the third quarter. Lovejoy has the 4-point lead. Franklin in the shotgun, swing pass out to Lavender, caught at the 9-yard line, the 12-yard line, past the 20, and finally brought down. A nice gain on first down to the 26. Now from the left hash mark, it'll be 2nd and 3. 2nd and 2 now from the 26-yard line. Stacked to the left side, Lavender in motion, left to right. Franklin hands it off to Nadeau. Gets rolling around the 30-yard line, just short of the 30, close to the first down marker. It'll be close. Looks like it. We'll see what they say. And first down goes to Lovejoy. And Nadeau is limping off the field. And he heads for the bench. Let's hope he's okay. He's been the star runner and running back for Lovejoy. McGee comes in. He gets it right away. At the left side, the 30, the 35, the 40. Dylan McGee upended around the 45-yard line.
One man to beat. Safety got under him, was able to take him down somehow.
Showed he's a bit more than a lacrosse player on that one.
Dylan McGee comes in cold and right away makes an impact from the 46-yard line. McGee once again got to feed him. Bounces out to the right side. Spins around, and he just won't go down across the midfield mark. He was hit behind the line of scrimmage and somehow got a gain of 4 out of it. I've never been so excited about a 4-yard run. That was awesome.
I'm telling you, these Big Ten teams are going to have some trouble with McGee next year in lacrosse.
Big lacrosse player is Dylan McGee. Shotgun for Franklin. Give it to him one more time, and they do. Puts the shoulder down, and this time at the 50-yard line, goes down. The crowd wants a late hit call on one of the Timberview players, but third time was not the charm. Or maybe it was third time's a charm for Timberview as they finally get McGee down around the 50-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 6. McGee will get a breather, a much-needed breather. 3 straight runs for him as Mason Wallace will come in for him to handle the running back duties here on 3rd down. 3rd and 6. You got Hondo Franklin back there. You got to pass it, don't you?
Yeah, pick up here. 3rd and long.
Trips to the right side from the midfield mark. Dropping back. Whistles come in. Flags come in.
Looks like it might have been a false start.
False start. 18 offense. 5-yard penalty. Replace 3rd down.
Beautiful call right there, Dakota. 17-13 is the score. 2:42, and that penalty pushes it back 5 yards, 3rd and 11.
Hondo needs to connect here. Get back momentum.
Hondo Franklin in the middle of the field, the 45-yard line. 3rd and 11 to go. Franklin drops back, wants it off to the left sideline, and incomplete. Double coverage intended for Kyle Parker. The safety, Todrick Dixon, was able to come back to the right sideline, the far sideline, and make a play. Almost got a pick out of it, actually.
He got a good beat on him. Saw where Franklin was going right away. Took off the other sideline.
And the punt unit will come back out for Lovejoy. It'll be Dixon back to receive for Timberview.
Kyle Parker on the play was putting his defensive back skills to work on that one. He is a receiver on the offensive end and also plays defensive back. That really came into action.
Absolutely. This punt gets down. The snap gets down. Punt gets off. Hits down at the 24-yard line and takes a big roll for Lovejoy inside the 10, the 5, and picks up right at the goal line.
An incredible.
Oh, no. I'm gonna take that oh no back because it looked like the referee signaled touchback, and then he changed it right away. Say it was down at the 1-yard line. A beautiful play by the Lovejoy punt return team.
Great punt, great roll.
Lane Dropey right there was able to stop it right at the 1-yard line, and flipping the field position has been a big key now with all these punts, and Carlock made a big play right there from the punter.
That was about a 60-yard punt on that one.
Yeah, my goodness.
Well, we get the punt around 5 or 6 times in the game. You start getting really good at it.
Jaden Marshall on the shotgun, 2 receivers on the left side, tied in and a running back. They give it to Jarvis Reed. Gets past the 5-yard line on the 1st and 10 from the 1-yard line. Gets them to the 10. Nice gain of 9. Really gives them some room. Jarvis Reed, first kind of big run of the game for him. Moving quickly. Reed again, left side, 1st down, 11-yard line, 15-yard line now, marking them down at the 17. Gain of 7 on the play.
Last drive, Jarvis got a quick break. Seems to be paying off.
Moving quickly now. Reed once again, same play, left side past the 20-yard line, upended around the 23-yard line, and Jarvis Reed trying to find his rhythm on this drive. They've gone to him 3 straight times. 17-13 is the score. 1:30 on the clock and counting in the 3rd quarter. Lovejoy with a 4-point lead over Mansfield Timberview. 2nd and 5 coming up for Jaden Marshall. Now they spread out. Or tied into the ball game, but 2 receivers to the right side. He claps his hands, waits for the snap. Here is the snap. And it's to Reed one more time. Up the middle one more time. This time does not get quite as big of a run, but a gain of 2 on the play gets him to the 24-yard line. What do you think, Dakota? You like them getting Reed some action here and get him some momentum?
That's exactly what I would go to right now. You got a quick break in that last possession. Get back on the field. Seems to be moving pretty well. He keeps running. He keeps moving the chains. Keep handling the ball.
Absolutely. 3rd and short. 3rd and 3 from the 24-yard line. Pistol formation. Reed behind the quarterback, Jaden Marshall. Tied into the ball game. That's A.J. Heredia. And now a timeout call.
Timeout. Timberview. First charge timeout.
Hey, that's what I just said. First charge timeout for the second half for James Brown, the head coach for Mansfield Timberview. 35 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. 17-13 is the score as Lovejoy leads Mansfield Timberview in this 3rd round of action, the regional semifinal round.
92.1 FM KXEZ, 95.3 FM KHYI, The Range, deeply rooted and invested in North Texas. Thanks for listening and your support.
17-13, 35 seconds left out of a timeout. The Mansfield Timberview offense is ready to go. 3rd and 3, 35 seconds left from the 24-yard line. Marshall in the shotgun. Heredia, the tight end of the ball game on the left side. 2 receivers on the left side. Reed in the back to the right of Marshall. Hand off to Reed. Spins out to the left side past the 25-yard line. He's got the first down and then some.
They can't seem to stop him.
Running in that same spot, really targeting that left side, the right side of the defensive line. And a big run by Jarvis Reed from the 30-yard line. 40, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, touchdown. Jarvis Reed, big-time play, gives Timberview the lead. They're going for 2 now as a whistle comes in and a flag comes in. Looks like it'll be a false start on Mansfield Timberview.
False start. Offense. Player never got set. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
It was a 60-plus yard touchdown run by Jarvis Reed, who's been on fire this possession, and this time gets unleashed and finally makes something happen. Up 2 points are the Timberview Wolves, trying to make it 3. Field goal is up and in. Field goal try by Caden Upholt is right through the upright. It's 20-17. Timberview, their first lead of the ball game over Lovejoy with 11:49 to go left in this one on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. Just 10 seconds in to the 4th quarter, the first play of the 4th quarter, and Jarvis Reed gives Timberview the lead for the first time tonight. And Lovejoy's got to do a little bit of clawing back of their own. The Leopards await the kick. Get it at the 15-yard line by Lavender, and flags come in. Oh, he waited for the fair catch, and Lavender on that return, and Lovejoy will take over right at the 25-yard line. It'll be Hondo Franklin with a little bit of pressure right now, trying to regain the lead on this possession with 11:48 left to go in the 4th quarter.
On that last drive, Jarvis Reed had a huge hole right up the middle.
He's been the X factor in the second half.
Absolutely. He's been big time for sure.
Jarvis Reed's actually averaging 104 yards per carry this year, and in the second half, he's really shown out.
Hondo Franklin in the shotgun now. 2 receivers on either side. Goes for it all down the right sideline. Jackson Lavender, jump ball at the right sideline. He's got it. Big time play, Jackson Lavender. That's showbiz, baby.
Jackson Lavender had to stop, come back, spin around, make the catch. Hondo made him work for it a bit, but he grabbed it.
Big time play on first down. Hondo Franklin hands off to Nadu. Back in the ball game, the ball's out. The ball is on the ground. And oh no. Oh no, Noah. Nadu coughed it up.
Looked like Nadu got punched from behind. The ball got punched from behind. Came right out.
You're right. Again, it was the big defensive lineman, Brian Mitchell, the defensive tackle. Made a huge play for Mansfield Timberview after the big-time throw on first down. Got them inside their own territory for Lovejoy. One play later, fumble and recovered by Mansfield Timberview. What a roller coaster of emotions I've got going on. 20-17, Timberview with the lead over Lovejoy. 11:28 on the clock in the fourth quarter. Dropping back is Marshall, drifting out to the right side. Here comes the pressure, fires to the middle, is a nobody, and incomplete. Pressure was coming strong from the Leopards.
It's like when some of the defensive linemen might have got a hand on it. Hit a lot of pressure right there in that last second before the toss.
11:21 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. 3-point ball game. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 47-yard line from the left hash mark. Marshall in the shotgun. Tied into the ball game, 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. To the right of him is Jarvis Reed, who's been outstanding this quarter, this past half. 3-point ball game. Marshall comes up to his offensive.
Off to the second down.
And off to the left side, Jarvis Reed off the left guard, gets a couple of yards to the midfield mark and stop there, a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 coming up, 3rd and 7 coming up.
Jarvis Reed doesn't look like a big dude, but he's plowing through every lineman, picking up at least 3 or 4 yards every time someone handles the ball.
Well, they have him listed 6'1", 180, and that's giving him some on both sides, because you're right, Dakota. He's got kind of a slight build, a slim build, and he's not all that tall, to be honest. So from our angle up here, 3rd and 7 from the midfield mark. 10:45 and counting in the fourth quarter. Big 3rd down here. Shotgun snap. Marshall fires to the middle and incomplete. Tipped to the line of scrimmage. And the Lovejoy defense comes up big.
Peyton Pearson there once again. Give it to the mix.
Titus Evans was downfield and wide open up the middle. He was a little frustrated. His quarterback couldn't pick him up.
See him running back to the sideline, and I was right there.
Yeah.
10:38 now, 4th and 7. Jackson Lavender will receive. His heels are on the 15-yard line. Tyler Strumolo will come in as a flag comes in, and that'll push the Timberview Wolves back 5 yards.
All start. Start the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
The ball will be pushed from the midfield mark to the 45-yard line inside Mansfield territory. And they'll punt from there. Strumula, who is going to need a long ice bath after this one. It's been a lot of work. Low snap. Gets it away. Line drive punt to the right side. Lavender catches it at the 19-yard line. Reverses his field. Back to the right side. Past the 20. The 25 and out of bounds around the 26-yard line. Nice gain right there by Jackson Lavender. And we'll see Lovejoy and the quarterback Hondo Franklin come in and try to get something going. 20-17 the score with 10:24 left to go. From the Ford Center in Frisco, Ethan Herrera alongside Dakota Herrera and Ryan Salinas for 92.1 FM KXEZ. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night, our second game of a doubleheader for high school Texas football. 1st and 10 for Hondo Franklin from the 26-yard line. From the right hash mark, going right to left, trips out to the left side. Lone receiver on the right side is Jackson Lavender, and Nadu, who fumbled in the last possession, is to the right of Franklin. Man in motion, left to right, Parker Livingston, who's got a touchdown catch in this game. Claps his hands as Franklin. Play action, drops back, has some time, drifting to the right side. Here comes the pressure to the right sideline, tiptoeing, and he caught it. Jackson Lavender. Beautiful catch, just a toe tap in, and a gain of 5 on 1st down.
Hondo get a lot of time in the backfield there to make that pass. O-line's been helping him out a bit.
O-line's got to come up big right now. 2 receivers on the far side of the sideline. Quarterback keeper, quarterback draw. Hondo Franklin, 35-yard line, gets the 1st down and falls to the floor. Falls to the turf. 1st down for Lovejoy. 39-yard line. 1st and 10 from there. From the right hash mark, going right to left. Franklin can do it all, it seems. Zach trips to the left side in the far hash mark, the near hash mark. Man in motion, Lavender left to right. Stops, now he comes back. Fakes the pitch to him. Franklin gets to the outside the left hash mark. The 40, the 35, the 45, and out of bounds to the 49-yard line. They'll give him the 48. Back-to-back runs for Hondo Franklin, really getting on his horse.
Great block right there by the receiver, Parker Livingstone.
Something we don't talk about very often are those receivers who can block, and Livingstone just showed what he can do right there. Stack trips to the right side from the left hash mark. 2nd and 1 from the 48-yard line. And the shotgun is Franklin. Lavender to the right side. Swing pass. Has a block. To 45, to 50. Inside Timberview territory. They've got the first down. And out of bounds at the 47 on the opposite side of Timberview. I mean, that's what you've been talking about, Dakota. Just the short passes they've had success with, getting 5-6 yards every single time.
No, it seems to be, if he doesn't try to do too much with the ball, he seems to be moving the chains pretty well.
He has that big play ability, but it's not working right now. He's got to make the adjustment, and he has. Nadeau hit in the backfield, but breaks free at the 45-yard line and still pushing forward. Big-time run by Noah Nadeau. Instead of getting hit for a loss of 2 on the play, gains about 4.
Time out on the field.
With a down to Wolf for Timberview at the 45-yard line. After that first down run, gain of 4, 2nd and 6, 9:13 on the clock. While the trainers take a look at him, actually we'll stay right here. 17-20 is the ball game. Lovejoy with a 3-point deficit as Mansfield Timberview has the advantage.
Good to see number 7 run off the field with his own power in that one.
Landon Hullaby's had a good game so far. The senior has been all over the place, defensive side, and a couple of plays on offense and special teams.
Seems like he put his shoulder down into Nadeau and connected wrong. Had to take him off the field.
He's going to sit out just at least one play as Franklin comes out. Play clock, plenty of time. 2 receivers to the left side, trips to the left side now. Nadeau to the right of Franklin from the 43-yard line. Takes the snap, drops back, fires left side for his man, and incomplete, intended for Kyle Parker. We've seen that a couple of times where Franklin has underthrown those receivers to the inside shoulder. Dangerous, dangerous pass. Dangerous place to miss on those far sideline throws.
These cornerbacks for Timberview are doing great. They seem to be keeping that from happening. For them to come back in and try to get that ball.
They've been all over this great receiving unit. Doubles wide receiver set. Receivers on either side. 2 on either side. Nadeau to the right of Hondo Franklin. 3rd and 6 from the 43-yard line. 8:44 on the clock. 20-17. Timberview or Lovejoy from the star here at Frisco. Dropping back. Franklin fires to the right side, back shoulder, jump ball, and picked off. Picked off by Timberview. It was Jonathan Smith reading it all the way, and a dangerous pass by Franklin looms into another turnover. And a takeaway for Mansfield Timberview, and they'll take over at the 22-yard line.
Well, you said it that last down, how dangerous that throw was. It seemed to bite him right there.
Absolutely. We've seen it all game long, and finally Franklin gets got.
These Timberview corners and safeties aren't getting beat deep, not very often. Hondo keeps trying to force it, and he just can't find his receivers there.
Well, an 11-1 team that you've been doing that all season long, you finally run into a team that can hang with those receivers. You got to make adjustments. He's done that for the most part. Just sometimes he gets a little bit too trigger happy. Defense has to come up big right here. 1st and 10, 8:36 on the clock in the 4th. From the 22-yard line, hand off to Reed, bounces it out to the right side and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. First time this half, Jarvis Reed hasn't had some positive yardage. It seems like, at least. .8:19 on the clock and counting in the 4th quarter. 20-17 the score as Timberview has the slight lead over Lovejoy in the regional final round, the 3rd round of the 5A Division II Texas High School playoffs. From the middle of the field, 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right side. Man in motion, left to right is Chambliss. Marshall takes the snap, hands off to Reed, who's got some space. 20, 25, flag comes in, and down he goes at around the 35-yard line.
Reed quickly makes up for those yards that he lost.
Absolutely. There's a flag down.
Holding. 54 offense. 10-yard penalty. Previous spot. Still second down.
I thought for sure that one's going to be on the defense right there.
What an absolute break for Lovejoy as Jarvis Reed got the 2nd and 12 first down. Now it's 2nd and 22 with 7:45 to go in the fourth quarter. 20-17, Timberview over Lovejoy. Two receivers to the left side, one to the right for Jaden Marshall. Chambliss in motion, left to right. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Reed, Jarvis, hitting the backfield, and down he goes! Big time play by Lovejoy. Brian Kotecki once again.
They seem to keep taking advantage of those penalties.
That's one thing that separates the good teams from the great teams, is when they have the chance to take advantage of penalties, turnovers, things like that, they do. And right now, this Lovejoy defense has taken advantage in full swing of the offensive penalties by Timberview. And now, 3rd and 23 from the 9-yard line, left to right. Left hash mark, Jaden Marshall in the shotgun. Two receivers on either side of the formation. Reed to the right of him. He takes the snap. He trips a little bit. Quarterback keeper trying to get outside. Reed downfield and slides down to the 5. Lovejoy comes up big on defense once again.
I'm out on the field.
Jaden Marshall, after that play, is down at the 5-yard line and not moving. And now he does. He finally rolls over to his back. So with 6:42 on the clock, a 3-point lead for Timberview over Lovejoy, 20-17. They'll take a look at him, and you'll take a listen to this on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
This is the Possum, 92.1 KXEZ, Farmersville, Dallas, and KXEZ.com.
Jaden Marshall, with the help of a couple of trainers, gingerly heading toward the sideline. Not something you want to see from your star quarterback, no matter what side you're on. Either way, it'll bring up a 4th down from the 5-yard line. It'll be 4th and 27 as Lovejoy has a chance for a big play with 6:42 on the clock and the punt unit on the field for Timberview. Jackson Lavender with his heels on the 40-yard line. This is where he's dangerous, folks. Look out. Tyler Strumula on for the punt. Line drive punt, hit down at the 35-yard line, takes the roll to the 40. Lavender just going to let this one roll out, doesn't get to the 50, down to the 44-yard line. Nice job by Strumula to at least get a little bit of distance on it. But inside Timberview territory will start the Lovejoy offense. Big possession right here, boys, don't you think?
Huge possession right here. Lovejoy really needs to come out and get some points on the board if they want to stay in this game.
A 3-point ball game, 20-17. Timberview has the lead. 6:23 on the clock in the fourth quarter. It'll be 1st and 10, going right to left on the right hash mark from the 45-yard line, making the 44. Mondo Franklin with an interception in this ball game. 2 interceptions in this ball game. Again, now has 10. He's got empty backfield. Stacked 4 wide receivers on the left side as Nadu now joins him in the backfield. 2 to the right, 1 to the right side. Play action, dropping back. Hondo, the pocket collapses and down he goes. They'll give him forward progress to the opposite 48.
It was going to be hard for Hondo to connect. His receivers were covered. He didn't have much to do with out there towards the 40 at all.
You can say it all game long, Dakota, how the defensive backs have covered this wide receiver group, and they've shown it right now. Franklin trips to the left side, drops back, right hash mark, fires it down the left sideline, and nobody's there. He actually fired it down the left numbers. The miscommunication, it looked like, between his 2 receivers, the 2 brothers, Jack and Parker Livingstone. Well, that'll bring up 3rd and 18. What looked like a promising start now has nightmare written all over it. 48-yard line of Timberview, going right to left on the right hash mark. Tripped out to the left side, 1 receiver to the right side. Nadu to the left of Hondo Franklin, standing on the right hash mark. Takes the snap, play action, drops back, fires to the right side, has Lavender at the right sideline, comes to the 42, makes a move, spins around to the right sideline, close to the 1st down marker. And he's a yard short, my goodness.
Incredible move by Lavender on that.
A 17-yard pitch and catch. And it was all thanks to Lavender. And they send the Wildcat unit out there. Peyton Pierce with a touchdown run to start the game. Comes in on a 4th and 1 from the 35-yard line. Right hash mark, 5:41 on the clock. Peyton Pierce powers his way close to the 1st down mark. He's got it. 1st down, Lovejoy.
He got hit in the backfield first. Didn't think he was going to make it. was able to power through, get that first down.
Listed first as a linebacker. They've used him in these Wildcat sets all year long, and Peyton Pierce delivers once again. Keeps the drive alive for Lovejoy. Doubles wide receiver set for Hondo Franklin in the shotgun. Quarterback draw, up the middle, 30, powering his way to the 25, and a big-time run on first down, a gain of 9.
Hondo was grabbed by the waist, was able to shuffle his feet to get a few more yards out of that. He's a strong dude.
And he looked a little bit angry out there after that last interception, and now he's kind of determined. Two receivers on either side from the right hash mark. Snap to Franklin, looking right, wants it off for Lavender. Jump ball and one-handed catch! Put out of bounds. Threw it to the back shoulder of Jackson Lavender, and he reached out and caught it with a couple of fingertips. But couldn't get a foot inbound. Incomplete pass, bringing up 3rd and 1. My goodness.
A little bit of shades of Odell Beckham on that one. Back in his Giants days.
Third and 1 from the 24-yard line. Hand off to Nadeau. Has some space. Hit in the backfield, and no. Short of the line of scrimmage even.
Big play by Timberview. Sprint up 4th down.
Let's see what they want to do, what Coach Chris Ross wants to do. He's sending Peyton Pierce back out there.
Well, it's worked for him before. He says let's keep it going.
They're 2 for 2 with Peyton Pierce out there in first downs and touchdowns. This time for the 3rd time. Trying to do it again. 4th and 2 from the 25-yard line. 4:16 and counting in the 4th. Peyton Pierce thought about going for it. They touch it. He tosses it out to the 10-yard line. 5. Touchdown, Lovejoy. Amari Murdoch. What a play call on 4th down. Chris Ross, you are an absolute genius.
Timberview, every single player was looking for that run. Was able to fake him out, tossed it right over the top. No one over that receiver. Walked it right in the end zone.
Incredible draw by that coach.
Absolutely. On for the extra point try. Up and in, but a flag.
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Retrack.
Caden Carlock knocks it through. This shouldn't be any problem for him getting it back all the way. He'll be spotted at the 15-yard line where he'll take the kick from. But what a crazy, crazy play call from Chris Ross. A gutsy play call. Peyton Pierce with a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown as this one is held down. Kick is up, and it's good. A 4-point game. Lovejoy 24, Timberview 20. 4:10 on the clock here in the 4th quarter in the 3rd round of the Texas High School Playoffs in 5A Division II. Oh, don't go anywhere, folks. It's going to be an exciting ending. Timberview gets the ball back on 92.1 FM KXEZ. After this kickoff, Ryan Slants will bring you the scoring drive on that last drive for Lovejoy. 4:10 on the clock. Carlock on to kick it away for Lovejoy. This one goes to the end zone and a touchback. They'll take it to the 25-yard line. Timberview down by 4, 24-20. Lovejoy recapturing the lead with 4:10 on the clock in the 4th. Ryan, you got it?
Yes, sir, Ethan, I got it right here. So that last play right there, well, that last scoring drive for Lovejoy, a total of 5 plays. And it ended up being a touchdown for them, and an absolutely much-needed one at that.
You are correct indeed, sir. Big-time play, and a big-time play call by the head coach, Chris Ross.
Pulled the rabbit out of the hat on that last drive.
The play looked kind of familiar. It's like we've seen it a couple of times from Boise State, where he was a coach. And now bringing it to Lovejoy, Texas, here in Frisco. From the left hash mark, Jaden Marshall hands off to Reed. Jarvis Reed for the 25-yard line and drops down at the 28. This time, not getting quite the big drive, but he gets a little bit of positive yardage every single time. It seems like in the second half, Dakota, he's been big.
I'd go with him. Keep handing him the ball. He's moving the chains for you.
4th and 7, 2nd and 7 from the 28-yard line. Crowd getting into it here at the Ford Center in Frisco. Pistol formation for Jaden Marshall. Reed behind him. Hands off to the left side and to the 30. Not going anywhere after a gain of 2 on the play. Back goes Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Reed, I should say. Jarvis Landry plays for the Cleveland Browns. 24-20 the score. 3:23 on counting here in the fourth quarter. Big time third down coming.
Play the game a little forward possession. A little forward possession there.
Cameron Bates in at quarterback after Jaden Marshall left last possession. Doubles wide receiver set from the 31-yard line. 3rd and 4. 3:07 and counting in the fourth quarter. Bates, quarterback keeper to the left side and gets brought down, but by the face mask or a horse collar, looked like every single referee threw their flag in on that play.
Looks like they grabbed the horse collar there. Huge mistake by Lovejoy.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 87. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
And not only is it a first down, but 15 yards to boot. This will take them all the way to the 46-yard line. Like you said, Dakota, a big mistake by Lovejoy. Cameron Bates in at quarterback, just a sophomore. He's on the left hash mark in the shotgun. To the right of him is Jarvis Reed. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right with the tight end of the ball game. Jamlett, left to right. They hand it to Reed across the 45 and down to the midfield mark. He'll go a gain of 4 on the play to the 50. They'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Jarvis Reed once again powering through linebackers, defensive linemen. Just a strong kid.
2nd and 4 from the 50-yard line. 2.5 minutes to go in this one. Great throws it and in and out of the hands. Incomplete pass. But it was in and out of the hands of Adam Eschler, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're correct. Adam Eschler.
It would have been the pick to really seal it.
He got fully extended, wasn't able to hold on to it on the way down.
Still really unfortunate play though on that one.
3rd and 6 from the 50-yard line. Cameron Bates in the shotgun. Reed behind him. Quarterback keeper. Quarterback draw. 50-yard line. 45. Dives for the 40 and a first down for Timberview. Big time play by the sophomore Cameron Bates. Cameron Bates, I should say. Down to the 41-yard line and a first down. Big time run by the sophomore. Trying to command his team. After the starter, Jaden Marshall has been out. Pistol formation for Bates in the shotgun now. Hands off to Reed. Jarvis Reed, 40-yard line, pushing the pile. Still pushing the pile, and now the pile pushes him. But he gets to the 36-yard line. He just keeps chipping away. Jarvis Reed has been outstanding. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right side. From the right hash mark, Bates. Quarterback draw, up the middle, 45-yard line, 35-yard line, down to the 35. It'll bring a gain of 1, 3rd and 4.
QB draws, handing off to Jarvis. They're moving the chains, moving inches by inches, trying to get to that end zone. Only a few minutes left on the clock.
1 minute and 15 seconds left to go in the fourth. 24-20, Lovejoy over Timberview. 3rd and 4 coming. Cameron Bates in the shotgun in the pistol formation. Jarvis Reed behind him. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Miscommunication in the backfield, and down goes the ball is loose. The ball is loose. Who's got it? Lovejoy's got it. Lovejoy's got it. And they're going crazy on the sideline.
That is unbelievable.
Who else but Peyton Pierce disrupting that play? And they do it again. Lovejoy turning the ball over, taking it away, and have possession with 53 seconds left to go.
Peyton Pierce is doing it all today. Throwing touchdown passes, running for touchdowns, causing fumbles, sacks, you name it. This guy's everywhere.
What can he do? 24-20.
Looked like Timberview tried to do some kind of option back there. Got a little crossed up. Pierce took advantage. Went right between them. Knocked the ball out.
Peyton Pierce, who's got offers from Arkansas, Missouri, and Virginia Tech and UNT, comes up big.
And only a sophomore.
And a timeout called by Coach Lovejoy.
Lovejoy.
53 seconds left in the ball game. 24-20 is the score as Lovejoy has the lead over Mansfield Timberview in the sequel. And what a sequel it's been. We thought coming in it was going to be an absolute shootout, another 65-60 game. But the defense turned up big. It was only 10-7 at the half. And now it's 24-20. The defenses have come up big, but also key plays by the offense on both sides have been the difference maker. Peyton Pierce right now is our player of the game as he's got a touchdown run, a touchdown pass, a couple of sacks now, and a stripped fumble, a forced fumble. He lines up in at quarterback again for this Wildcat formation from the 41-yard line. They try to jump it. Peyton Pierce, up the middle he goes at the 40-yard line, the 45, and pushes the pile. A big gain on first down.
Timeout, Timberview.
And Timberview takes that timeout with 48 seconds left to go in the fourth. 24-20 is the score. I mean, what a game.
This second half decided to turn around. A lot more points on the board, a lot more passing, a lot more running. It's been a fun game.
It was the sophomore backup quarterback who fumbled that ball for Mansfield Timberview last possession as Jaden Marshall, their senior quarterback, was knocked out of the game. He got hurt a couple of times, and now he's on the sideline with his helmet off, assuming that he's done for the rest of the game. He's actually sitting down on the sideline on the turf. 24-20 the score, 48 seconds left, only one timeout left for Timberview. Peyton Pierce back out there. They're just going to run this one into the ground. Pierce, Wildcat formation, jumbo set, 3 tight ends, 1 running back. Extra offensive lineman into the ball game as well. Dylan McGee is the running back. Pierce up the middle, out to the right side, outside the tackle near the right hash in the midfield mark. He's down to the 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2, and a timeout goes to Timberview.
Timeout, Timberview. Time to charge timeout.
And if they get this first down right here, it's essentially over. I mean, it's going to be really hard to come back in this one. No timeouts. 3rd and 2. Even if they don't, they'll run the clock down as far as possible, and it might be a couple seconds left. So Lovejoy has been outstanding. The comeback, big call by Chris Ross, the head coach, to send Peyton Pierce out there one more time instead of going for the run, has him pop up and toss it for a big-time touchdown pass to Amari Murdoch. That was the difference maker.
We have a very big 3rd and 2 coming up. 42 seconds left in this ball game. Let's see if Lovejoy can ice it right here.
24-20, 42 seconds left. Peyton Pierce in the shotgun. Away in the snap from the right hash mark. Going toward the line of scrimmage. Is this the dagger? It is. First down, Lovejoy. And it's all over, folks. Lovejoy is moving on. 3rd and 2. And a big run by Peyton Pierce to cap it off. I mean, why not? He did everything else today. Timberview put up a valiant effort. Jaden Marshall was incredible. Jarvis Reed was even better.
Timberview's defense did all they can to try to hold this Lovejoy team offense down, which wasn't able to do it.
Peyton Pierce was just too much for this Timberview team.
We thought coming in it was going to be Hondo Franklin, and he did make a difference. He was played an outstanding quarterback today, but it was Peyton Pierce, kind of the underdog that we didn't even talk about in the pregame, comes in and makes a huge difference. Gets the first score of the game on the 3-yard touchdown run, gets the touchdown pass to ice it, and has a couple of sacks and a forced fumble to actually put the dagger into the hearts of Timberview.
The incredible game that we had over here.
Ridiculous. 24-20, the final score. Lovejoy moving on. The Leopards find themselves headed to the 4th round of the playoffs. They'll take on South Oak Cliff. Final score, 24-20. When we come back, I'll give you our final thoughts and a look ahead on 92.1 FM KXEZ.
Our sponsors this evening, Smith's Quality Greenhouses, North Texas Appliance in Rockwall, and Belfori Spa and Salon.
24-20, the final score here from the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. A couple of the stats right here, team stats for both Lovejoy and Timberview. 315 yards for Lovejoy, 309 yards for Timberview. They were neck and neck all game long. 198 yards through the air for the Leopards from Lovejoy, 159 for the Wolves. 150 on the ground for Mansfield Timberview and 117 on the ground for Lovejoy. I mean, these teams could not be any more even than they were, and the score, as close as it was, shows you just how even these teams are and were. 3 turnovers for Lovejoy, though, very uncharacteristic of their game. 2 interceptions by Hondo Franklin and 2 fumbles, but only 1 was lost. 1 turnover on a fumble by Mansfield Timberview, and they put up such a great effort. 8-4 on the season. Now it's fallen to 8-5, and their season is done. But what a huge, huge fight by this Timberview team up against one of the best teams in the state of Texas. It's just ridiculous, and I can't believe that we had such a beautiful and amazing game here at the Ford Center.
North Texas Appliance, located at I-30 in Rockwall. For famous brands like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, General Electric, Monogram, and many others, first quality appliances also come at good prices. That's North Texas Appliance in Rockwall.
And this game wouldn't have been possible without the contribution from the key players, the big-time star players that we talked about coming in, and then a couple of surprises, Ryan. What do you have? What was the biggest takeaway stats-wise from both sides of this game? Well,
first off, I'd just like to tip the cap to Timberview. They absolutely played their hearts out tonight. They fell a little bit short, but they gave it their all tonight. The first thing that really pops up over here was Jarvis Reed, Timberview's running back. He had 31 carries for 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. And on the Lovejoy side, Alexander Franklin, he went 30 for 30 today, 43% completion rating, threw that 1 touchdown pass that he had to Mr. Jackson Lavender. And he had 2 interceptions on the day, which is unlike Mr. Franklin. From rushing on the Lovejoy side, Noah Nadeau had 17 attempts for 66 yards. And then let's just talk about Peyton Pierce today, Ethan. Oh, what a game.
I mean, he did absolutely everything you could possibly want from a non-starting quarterback, and coming in doing that wildcat formation we talked about. He ran one in. It was 4 yards. He ran for 4 yards, or 12 yards for 4 carries, and 1 touchdown. Had the 1 touchdown pass for 25 yards, and that lone touchdown. Alexander Franklin with that 1 touchdown, only the second time now here in the playoffs. Last week only threw 1. This week only threw 1. He's only had, before those 2 games, he's never thrown only 1 passing touchdown in a game up until that point. So I don't know if it's the pressure that's getting to him, or you get to the playoffs, teams are better the further you go. So they're gonna adjust to him. Coaching gets better, preparation gets better. But like you said, Peyton Pierce, he was the difference maker, especially not just eye test, but literally was the difference maker. 2 touchdowns, and they win by 4 points. Ridiculous.
And then Lovejoy over here had 3 turnovers to Timberview's 1. And so that really made a difference there. It's kind of interesting that Lovejoy turned the ball over 3 times and still came out with a win. Timberview's only turnover came right when they did not need one, when there was only about 48 seconds on the clock.
You put a sophomore quarterback in there, and he very inexperienced. Jaden Marshall hadn't missed time all year long, comes in, has to miss a little bit of time at the end of the game, which is, like you said, perfect timing where you don't need it. And poor Cameron Bates came in. He did a nice job, but ultimately, fumbled the snap and big-time turnover. Peyton Pierce again, who forced that turnover.
That he did. And it was just a very tough spot, for the backup quarterback to come in the last few seconds of the game. Let's really hope, though, that Jaden Marshall is okay. I saw him on crutches at the end of the game, so
yeah, we'll see.
I hope he is okay.
Let's hope he's okay. Had a good game, played it phenomenal, and toward the end of the game had a tough break where he got hit hard and had to come out. So Aledo lost to South Oak Cliff which is just an upset in its own earlier today at 2 p.m., and they'll take on Lovejoy. Lovejoy meets them in the quarterfinals. Dakota, what did you see from this game? What did you enjoy about this game?
I loved watching Hondo play. Hondo was hitting those 5-yard, 10-yard passes really, really well. The only thing he got a little anxious, when he got into that 30-yard line, try to make the passes go deep. Fortunately, he wasn't able to connect. I think secondary, like you said, as you get into players, your secondary is going to get tough. They're going to be really good. It's going to be hard to make those plays. It's going to be hard for your receivers to beat those corners. So he's got to watch that. But he was a lot of fun to watch, and I think he's going to be a great quarterback. He's only a sophomore.
Got a long way to go.
He's got a long way to go. He's got 2 more years to play this game and hone it. So it's going to be fun to watch him play.
Lovejoy does have themselves a quarterback of the future. I mean, they had R.W. Rucker for a couple of years. He's playing at Oklahoma now behind Caleb Williams and Spencer Rattler. And so they think that Hondo Franklin can be that next great quarterback for Lovejoy. Ryan, what do you think about what did you like more about this game, or most about this game?
One of my favorite things to watch in this game was Jackson Lavender offensively. He seemed to be the heart and soul of this Lovejoy offense, and he had an absolutely great game today with 8 receptions and 80 yards receiving. And, he was just making some, that one incredible catch that he had that got taken away.
Insane.
It just happened to be out of bounds. That one-handed fingertip catch that he had was absolutely incredible. And SMU has themselves one heck of an athlete.
And we've actually seen multiple players at we've called here on KXEZ. We called Rowlett football all season long. Michael Abukun Okeoti, big-time defensive lineman for Rowlett, was outstanding, all-district and all-city defensive lineman for Rowlett, and he ends up he's going to SMU next year, and Lavender still has 1 more year before he graduates and heads that way. So SMU's got a good team coming up, it looks like, if you're looking at the North Texas side. Also tomorrow, we'll be back at it, bringing you some Saturday playoff action here in the playoffs, the 3rd round, the regional semifinals. The Geyer Wildcats are going to take on the Byron and Nelson Bobcats back here at the Ford Center in Frisco. Kickoff at 2:30 p.m., pregame at 2. Be sure to tune in to 92.1 KXEZ, your Metroplex leader in high school sports. Just so y'all know, folks, I didn't mention this earlier, and I probably should have. And y'all can go home thinking, man, that was actually pretty good. Dakota Herrera and Ryan Salinas, this was their radio debut, and they were fantastic. I loved talking to them. They had some great insight, good points, and they were perfect. Dakota, the color commentator and analyst, and Ryan Salinas, the statistician. So, guys, what did y'all think about y'all's first broadcast out here? They've heard me do it for years, but, what y'all think that y'all can do it? Y'all came and y'all did a good job.
The one thing that made me feel a little bit comfortable at doing this is probably listening to you on the radio every chance I get, Ethan.
That's true. One of KXEZ's biggest fans, especially when we do these broadcasts, is Ryan. He'll text me during the games, he'll text me after the games, or call me and say, hey, that was crazy, you called, that was a great call, I can't believe that guy did that, or whatever. So Ryan is actually a big, long-time listener of KXEZ on these high school broadcasts.
Yeah, thank you for bringing me on today, Ethan. It's been a great time.
Absolutely. Hopefully maybe one day we can get you back on. Dakota.
This was a great game to come out to. It wasn't a blowout. It was intense. It was a lot of fun to call. So I'm glad that this was the debut.
Yeah, it's insane to see these types of games. I mean, you get the blowouts in the first round all the time. You get 1s against 4s, 2s against 3s, and it's just that's the way it works out sometimes. But very rarely here in the second and third round you get great games like we've gotten in the past few weeks. Earlier today. I feel like it's been yesterday. It's such a long day. The Quinlan Ford and Pleasant Grove game was great. Last week, Pleasant Grove versus Pittsburgh. We saw South Oak Cliff versus Frisco, and now this amazing game, 24-20, as Lovejoy edges out the Timberview Wolves from Mansfield. It's great to see, and we'll have them back on the air next week if we can get them as they play South Oak Cliff. No time or date or location have been set yet, of course. We'll wait till Sunday, so check your local listings about that game. We will have Denton Geyer on the air tomorrow, and we'll follow them. Coach Rodney Webb, former coach of the Rockwall Yellow Jackets, actually my former coach in football at Rockwall back in 2013, 2014. will be the head coach of Denton Guyer. He's led them to a great, great season. 24-20 is the final score. Ryan, Dakota, do y'all have anything to add before we head this one, kick it back to great classic country music?
Oh, this was a lot of fun. This was a great game. I'm really looking forward to see where this Lovejoy team goes. They got a tough matchup against South Oak Cliff, and it's going to be great to watch.
And Ryan?
Just an incredible game, incredible atmosphere. This is what Texas football is all about. And we really look forward to see what Lovejoy has in the next round.
It is the lifeblood of all of Texas high school football, isn't it? 24-20, the final score. Special thanks to our sponsors, Belfiore Spa and Salon, North Texas Appliance, and Smith Quality Greenhouses. For Ryan Salinas, our statistician, for our color commentator and analyst, Dakota Herrera, for our broadcast engineer back in the KXEZ studio, and for Ken Jones at KXEZ, I'm Ethan Herrera saying good night from Frisco.